The winningest postseason team in OHSAA history, the Marion Local Flyers, has once again steamrolled its way to a state title game, and they're looking for their third straight Division VI championship. Waiting for them, a familiar foe in Kirtland. The Hornets are playing in their seventh D6 title game in 8 years, and nobody would like to end the Flyers' reign more than the team from Lake County. Who will hoist the trophy today? It's number 3 Marion Local and number 1 Kirtland, coming up next from the Hall of Fame City. From a foggy Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio, it's the Division VI State Championship game this morning on Spectrum News 1. Marion Local and Kirtland, a rematch from last year's state title game. Hi again, everybody. Alongside Matt D'Orazio, this is Todd Bell. It is a little foggy. It's a little early, but here we are, Matt, with a rematch of last year's state championship game.
Yeah, and I think I might be the only one that has butterflies in the whole stadium. Everybody's used to this except for maybe me, and I woke up this morning excited, and I'm sure these guys are as well.
All right, should be a great matchup. Let's take a look at the bracket and how these two teams got here. First off, Marion Local got here relatively easy, 34-6 victory in their semifinal. Kirtland the same way, 35-18. So both these teams are ready to go here for today's state championship game. And let's dive into our two teams, and we'll start off with Marion Local. They're going for their third straight title here, Matt. To stay focused and ready to go year after year, it can't be easy to do.
You know what, you think it couldn't be easy, but the way this program is set up and the culture that they've produced around here and the expectations, it's unbelievable that those jerseys are out on this field almost every single year. It doesn't matter who's underneath them. It just happens that year after year that the Flyers are out here.
Now, on the other side, Kirtland, a lot of people are saying, maybe revenge from last year's loss to this team. This is 7 title games in 8 years. They know they belong here today.
Yeah, that would be a big mistake to say revenge. I mean, Kirtland's a mainstay when it comes to state championship games as well. The key for them is just getting another state championship. They've got 3, they want 4, and certainly they would love to beat the Flyers.
All right, our stars to watch today, we're going to look at a quarterback and a running back. On the left, you see Nathan Bruns for Marion Local, Joey Torok running back on the other side for Kirtland.
Yeah, and Bruns looks like a quarterback, 6'6", 200 pounds, all the yards, all the touchdowns, leads his team, a pure athlete, and he's expected to have another big game today. And Joey Torok has been starting since his freshman year, so he's used to these state championship games. Didn't have a great game last year, certainly wants to have a good one in his last game as a senior.
All right, those are our teams. Those were our players. It's Kirtland. It's Marion Local. It's the first of 3 games today here on Spectrum News 1. Matt and I are back. We'll bring in Ashley Collins as well and check in with her before the kickoff.
The 2018 OHSAA Football Championships on Spectrum News 1 are presented by Aries Sportswear, custom apparel made easy. The American Dairy Association Mid-East, fuel up with chocolate milk. Blaster, work it like a pro. And by Spectrum. Are you ready for what's next? Think forward.
Well, the Kirtland Marching Band ready to go here today for our Division VI State Championship game at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Should be a great afternoon of football. The good news is the fog that we had a little bit earlier has kind of lifted, and it looks like we're going to be ready to go here for this state championship game between Marion Local and Kirtland. The Flyers, they come in, the number 3 team in the state of Ohio. They are 13-1. They were the champions of Region 24 as they make their way out onto the field for today's game. And the Kirtland Hornets, the other team, ranked number 1. They were Region 21 champions, 14-0 on the season. Great matchup of these two teams again, played a year ago, and it was won by Marion Local. Mentioned the weather a little bit earlier. Man, when we got here, Matt, it was extremely foggy. We were struggling to see the players down there on the field, but it has lifted. A little bit of a fine mist out there in the air, but you as a former player, you didn't care what the weather was, did you?
No, not at all. In fact, I like I said in the open here, I had some butterflies. I woke up excited. I saw the fog. It didn't matter. as long as there's turf and there's a football, we'll make it work.
And this great facility here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. You see the rotunda of the Hall of Fame, the top of the screen there. I love the fact that they left that middle section open, and so the fans that are down in the seating bowl can actually see through there and see the Pro Football Hall of Fame on the other side of the stands. Ashley Collins is the third member of our crew. She will be with us throughout this morning for this 10 a.m. state championship game. Ashley, welcome, and I know you had a chance to visit with both these coaches, and they had different perspectives of today's game.
Yeah, exactly. Good morning, guys. Now, these two teams facing off for the third time in 4 years. When I asked Coach Goodwin about the win last year, he said the game was much closer than that point spread showed. He said a few key plays here or there, and that would have been a much different outcome for his team. When I asked Coach Laverde about those comments, he laughed and said, well, he's just being polite. It was not a competitive game, and they got whooped. He said his guys have been mad ever since then, and they've dedicated themselves each and every day in the offseason and up until this point to getting back to this very spot. You mentioned revenge. That's not how Tiger Laverde is looking at this. Instead, it's a rubber match, and they're both happy to be here, guys.
All right, Ashley, thank you very much. We'll look forward to visiting with you throughout the game here today. Matt, here are our keys to the game. Take us through them, please.
Yeah, if you're Marion local, you've got a lot of experience. You've been here time and time and time again. And if you're on defense, you want to try to stop that stack eye that Kirtland runs, because they're averaging 8 yards a carry, which is crazy. If you're Kirtland, you've got to get an early lead. They cannot play from behind. This is a high-flying flyer offense. You've got to get out on there early. And then, of course, your defense, who's pitched several shutouts this season, has got to come up big and slow down this offense.
Kind of the constant theme, but when you get here, teams are always scoring a bunch of points, and the defenses are always good, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't matter what team, what division it is.
It's a lot of the same thing, and it's a matter of who shows up and plays their best game. The one thing about these two teams is there's probably not a lot of nerves, where if you look at the other 6 games this weekend, there may be some nerves involved because of the one time that the school maybe shows up in this situation. But these two teams and these two communities are here constantly and are used to this situation.
Tiger Laverde, the head football coach of the Kirtland Hornets. Boy, what a program that he has run here for them. 13th season, a record of 158-17 patrolling up and down that sideline.
It's unbelievable. It's on both these teams. It's something you think about, where everybody wants to be these two programs and everybody's fighting for it, but these are the two that do it. And the blueprint that they have, they could probably write down and sell it for a lot of money in a book to a lot of the coaches and communities around the state that are trying to accomplish the same thing.
All right, the coin toss was won by Marion local. They deferred to the second half. They'll be kicking off, so we're going to see Kirtland's offense out onto the field first here today. Alex Klosterman, a junior, will be, Derek Kemper will be kicking off today. Klosterman is their place kicker. And we are ready to go here today. Thanks for being with us on Spectrum News 1, first of 3 state championship games on this Friday. And the kickoff is away. It will go past Sullivan into the end zone, and we'll see the offense of Kirtland come out onto the field here for the first time. They will scrimmage from the 20-yard line. And the quarterback here for the Kirtland Hornets, Tommy Powers, second team All-Ohioan, and his main job after only 77 passes this year is to hand the football off.
It is, and sometimes in these kind of offenses where you hand off, there's more to it. You always look at a quarterback, how many yards are they thrown for? But certainly at that position, there's a lot more of the leadership that goes into it, lining people up, motivating people, getting people in the right direction. And Tommy Powers has done a great job of that this year.
And on first down, the quarterback will keep, and he'll work his way out around the 23-yard line. Our starting lineups are brought to you by Aries Sportswear, proud sponsor and preferred apparel partner of the OHSAA. This Kirtland offense is averaging just under 400 yards per game. They've scored 75 touchdowns and almost 40 points per contest. Austin Fulco, their center, was a first-team All-Ohioan, as Powers again will keep. As on that little zone read, he will keep it, and he'll pick up a couple. It'll be third down and short coming up as we see this offense get right back to the line. You see the backs and receivers. Keep your eye on Joey Torok, 1,700 yards on the season. Third down play, give it second man through. That is Jake Nybecker. He is going to be right at the first down marker, just short of it. And Matt, already an early decision here. They're going to line it up, says Tiger Laverde. Get to the line of scrimmage. It's fourth down and less than a yard on the opening possession of a state championship game. Powers, the quarterback, will keep it, and he'll have a first down. A statement made.
I love it, and there's no doubt about it that Coach Laverde is coming in with an admission to try to win this football game. Sets the tone early with that call. Really no hesitation at all, not by anybody. Nobody flinched. It's a great call. You got the quarterback in Powers who made a good decision, gets the first down, keeps the sticks going.
So first down and 10, and they'll hand it off, and it'll be the first carry of the game for Joey Torok, and he's going to pick up 7, almost 8 on the play. Look at this defense for Marion local. They're giving up just 11 points per ball game. It is a 3-4 defense, and when we get to these linebackers, Sam Hulsman is a player of the year, 6'4", 230 senior at linebacker for Hulsman, and that secondary, 10 interceptions on the season. And we're going to get a false start here on this second down and short
Dead ball.
play here for Kirtland.
False start. Offense number 73. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
And we hear from our head referee, Michael Dame, for the first time here on this Friday morning.
And Todd, with two programs like this, penalties like that are going to be key. I mean, especially with the type of offense that Kirtland runs. I mean, they're getting 3 and 4 yards a carry, although when you look at their season average, they're averaging 8.3 yards a carry, which is insane. Obviously, that'll come down a little bit today in this championship game, but you can't have penalties, pre-snap penalties, where you're moving backwards in this style of offense.
And now you'll see him shift to an off-balance line, and the handoff will be to Nybecker, and he'll sweep to his right, and he'll make his way out to around the 43-yard line, just short of the first down. All right, unbalanced line. We don't see it a lot in today's football anymore, but a running style offense, we're going to see that line shift throughout the day.
Yeah, and these guys are big up front. You'll notice that. I know we're playing in a Division 6 football game, but man, there's some big dudes up front.
And Powers, the quarterback, will keep, and he'll make his way over the 45 and will pick up a first down. And boy, this is up-tempo running style football.
Well, you know what I was thinking about this game, when you're finished with a state championship game, there's lots of thoughts throughout the year of, I wish I could do this thing all over again, or man, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do. Coach Laverde can go back, both coaches can go back and say, hey man, I get a chance to correct some things that I wish I did differently, and Coach Laverde is coming up-tempo running game right now, and it was something that he saw maybe from last year, that if we can catch him up off guard and keep the things moving, we've got a chance to be successful.
So tight end Michael Bodish out there leading the way, and this time Torok will stumble his way over the 50 down to the 49-yard line, and this is what they want to do, right? 3 yards is a good play for them.
Absolutely. You get 3.5, 3 times in a row, you get a first down, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. And I love the fact that they're moving so quickly. It's a challenge, it's a conditioning challenge too, not only to your team, but the team you're playing against.
Third down, run the option. Powers will keep, and he'll have a first down as he's to the Marion local 43-yard line. And boy, quickly made the decision on the read that time, and they'll move the chains again. Blake Schwederman, safety, comes up, makes the tackle.
Yeah, quick decision. You can tell Powers is playing with some confidence.
Yeah.
Even when he lowers his shoulder right there, there's something about a quarterback when the way he's carrying himself. A lot can be told in body language, and even right there making the quick decision, getting the first down. And the team feeds off of that. There's no doubt about it. If there's some indecision or uncertainty at that position, sometimes the team falls in line with that.
So on first down and 10, this time they'll split Torok out. They'll give it to Nybecker, and he tries to cut back, keeps the legs moving, and he'll fight forward to around the 41-yard line and pick up 3. Now, I said 3 yards is a good play for them, but it's hard to fathom. They average 8 yards per run as a team this year.
I saw that, and it's just incredible. It's commitment to the run. It's also those guys up front. When you look at those guys up front, I mean, it's size, it's athletic ability, it's being in the right place, it's good technique. All those things added up equals exactly what you just mentioned, averaging 310 yards a game rushing.
Keep your eye on 74, the left tackle, 6'3", almost 300 pounds, on his way to Kent State. That's Jack Bailey, if you want to watch a good offensive lineman, just inside the tight end right there. A little delay this time, and Nybecker got tripped up but fell forward to the 39-yard line, and he'll pick up about 3 more. It'll be third down coming up now for this offense.
A lot of these seniors for Kirtland, I mean, they're like what we talked about, the redo. It's not revenge, but it's a chance to kind of do this thing over again. And there's certainly a different level of energy. Although Marion local state champion after state championship, it never gets old. I don't want to ever think that ever gets old for any of these guys. But there may be a little bit different motivation in the belly of Kirtland for these seniors than what happened last year.
You see him shift again. So unbalanced right, and now a timeout will be used by Joey Torok as the play clock was about ready to expire. And that was a rare time, Matt, where they brought the quarterback powers over. He got the play, ran out there. They were slow getting to the line. And Coach Laverde saw that right before the play clock expired and saved him because it's 3rd down and 5 here.
Yeah, and I like the timeout. This is an important drive. They're setting the tone. They're, obviously they're draining some clock and they're moving the ball. So you want to make sure you use those timeouts wisely.
See how they got here. Couple of shutouts to start the season, and then always tough Mogador in that championship game of Region 21, and then got by Fort Fry last week 35-18. That was a game that they kind of started to pull away at the end of that contest, but year after year after year, so many games for these players. It's like a third season for them throughout the year. You have that non-conference, then you have the conference portion, and now the playoffs, and they're very accustomed to being here.
Yeah, it just feeds off itself, and it's funny. We talk about this, and for both these programs, there's kids in the stands out there that see themselves in this field in a couple years, and that's why this thing is just on a roll right now for both these programs. And so you think about the dominance, and you got to embrace it and love it. It's just incredible.
So a 3rd down and 5. You would think this is 4-down territory right here for them.
For sure.
They'll go back to the stack guy, 2 tight ends. Tommy Powers, the quarterback. They'll go to the right. He will look to keep it again. He'll pick up a couple. So it'll be 4th down and about 3 from just outside the 35-yard line. And that offense will stay onto the field, and they'll go for it here on 4th down.
Yeah, Ty, a little G option right there, and Powers puts his foot in the ground again. And, he may be thinking, okay, he knows it's 4-down territory. Let's see if we can get a couple. Didn't quite get a couple. Never got to that pitch phase right there. Saw something that maybe a crease that he could have got through, and he got the Flyers closed it up quickly.
They will need to cross the 34 for a 1st down. This time they'll go empty backfield. Bring a man in motion. They'll jet sweep it here to the near side. Torek trying to get to the corner. He will get there. He's right at the 1st down marker, and he's going to be short. He only got to the 35-yard line. He will be short of the 1st down line to gain for the first time. They tried to get to the perimeter, and they couldn't get there.
Yeah, empty backfield, jet sweep, and Torek, who's a fast guy, I think he was debating, do I cut up? Where do I cut up? Nope, I'm going to use speed. And the Flyers just side-to-side speed on the sideline was key there. No give up. And it's one of those deals where, okay, we gave up a couple 1st downs, we gave up field position, but we did not break. And that's the type of defense that Marion Local has. And you'll see it right here. Torek trying to get the edge, just not happening. And Rethman is the guy who runs him down. Good speed by him from that linebacker position.
And you see they ate up almost half of the 1st quarter clock on a possession that comes up empty. Quarterback Nathan Bruns, special mention All-Ohio Division 6, will look to throw it on 1st down. He's got Nick Tangeman downfield, and it's just beyond his reach and incomplete. Tangeman had a big game last year in this state championship game. Quarterback Nathan Bruns, we hit him in our open, Matt. Such a big guy at 6'6", completing 61% of his passes this year.
No doubt, looks the part. Stats are incredible. 27 touchdowns. I mean, he's had an unbelievable year. Then you think about his first play of the state championship game, Coach Goodwin on the other side of things just launching it, and I love it, just the opposite, and had it actually, just missed it, and certainly telling Kirtland that we're coming after you.
2nd down and 10 from the 35. They will bring Rethman in motion. Bruns will step back. He will look to run as he had room up the middle. He will work his way over the 40 to around the 41-yard line. Our Aries Sportswear starting lineups here for the Marion Local Flyers. Reese Eifert, their center. He was a 3rd-team All-Ohioan in Division 6, an offense that is averaging 39 points a game and 386 total yards. Tangeman, he was a 1st-team All-Ohioan at wide receiver with 17 touchdowns this season. 3rd down and 3, as they will have 2 wide receivers out to the left. It'll be Ungren and Tangeman. And Bruns 7 yards deep. He'll send Rethman out of the backfield. They snap it with 3 seconds. Student body right for Bruns. He needs the 45-yard line, and Kirtland will stop him short. It was Jack Bailey. We mentioned him playing tackle on offense. He plays defensive tackle on defense, and he made the stop for Kirtland. And Bruns is slow in getting up.
And Bruns doesn't have many carries this year. Only 241 yards, but he's averaging 4 yards a carry, and you think maybe he has a chance to get it, but just short on that one.
And here's our defense for Kirtland. You see them here. They are allowing 4.5 points a game. That's not very much.
No.
145 yards of total offense. They have been that good on defense this year. Bailey, a first-team All-Ohioan. Capretta, second-team All-Ohioan on that defensive side for Kirtland. And, I mean, you look at what they did all year, shutout after shutout. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. It'll be fourth down for Marion Local. Division 6 state championship game is scoreless. Well, they helped Nathan Bruns off the field, but he needed some assistance. And, Matt, that could be a huge blow for Marion Local. Now, they have fourth down and short. My thought is now with your starting quarterback over on the training table that the smart play would be to just punt right here, but we'll have to see what they're going to do because that would then allow you some opportunity to figure out what you're going to do. On the backup side, Kyle Mulekamp threw 5 passes this year, and that's been it, other than Bruns. He's been the only other guy that has been there, but he may run out here on the field, and they may go for it, Matt, here on fourth down from their own 44-yard line as we see Mulekamp, in the huddle, and he's going to come up to the line of scrimmage. And so it looks like they will go for it here on fourth down. They will turn and hand it off, and that is going to be a first down run. Looked like maybe Brandon Fleck on the carry that time. Only his 3rd carry of the season, and they'll pick up a first down. I beg your pardon, his 78th carry of the season. He has 3 receptions on the year, but they'll pick up the first down.
And how about Coach Goodwin? Didn't hesitate. I'm with you. You get a backup quarterback in. You know, if you got your starter and Bruns in, you go for it. Maybe, maybe think about it. But as a backup coming in, didn't hesitate. Just goes for it, rolls the dice. And honestly, it's decisions like that and it's execution like that on a big fourth down in your own territory in the state championship game is why Marion Local is Marion Local.
Kyle Mulekamp, 1 of 5 passing for 20 yards, 2 interceptions. He had 1 rush on the season coming into today. Ungren is the man in motion. Mulekamp will look to throw. Good pocket. Deep one over here to the right for Rethman, and it's going to be knocked down incomplete as it was batted away by Dawson Cosgrove.
Little wheel route there for Mulekamp, and honestly, got away with one. Could have been an interception, but he gets a throw. He gets it down the field. He gets to see the defense and see how they react on a pass play. Underthrows it a touch, but this is a junior. He's probably gotten some decent time considering the way the Marion Local blows teams out. So he's going to get some time as far as taking snaps, and he got a throw in, and now we'll see where he goes from there.
So he'll work in under center on 2nd down and 10. Nolan Habadaz will get his first carry, and there is that defensive line of Kirtland. No gain on the play for Habadaz. Has over 1,200 yards, averaging 6 yards a carry and 21 scores this year. And what will this do now to the offensive game plan a little bit? You had, Bruns was coming out. He was throwing the ball over the place on the first couple of plays. Now we may see this run game have to be relied on a little bit more for Marion Local.
Possibly, or Mulekamp. You see things like this all the time where the backup guy comes in who's been waiting and playing and seeing a guy in front of them have a ton of success. And Bruns, heck, Goodwin may not change anything and just say, hey, we're counting on you to deliver.
On 3rd down and 10, they'll roll Mulekamp out, being pressured by Nybecker. Got out of it, escapes another, hit by a 3rd. He'll be short of the first down. Courageous run that time by Mulekamp. Will pick up about 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down and about 3.
Little sprint, good decision by Mulekamp. Doesn't see anything, use your legs, try to find a way. You got some good yards here. And obviously they're going for it at this point. This is something Coach Goodwin probably once again didn't even hesitate on, and he sees his quarterback, got some nice yards, took a couple hits, which as a quarterback, when you come in, you get a couple hits like that, you pop back up, all of a sudden you feel like you're a part of the football game.
4th down, they'll line up to go for it again. They will need the 43 here for a first down, and they'll sweep it here to the near side. Rethman tried to turn upfield, but as he cut, he slipped. He's down at the 45, short of the line to gain, and Marion Local will turn it over on downs.
I think Rethman, if he keeps his feet, he may have this first down. He's got some blockers out in front. There's a seam for sure that you see right there. Just tries to cut, feet go out from underneath him, don't get the first down, and that's a big stop for the Hornets.
So Marion Local will give the football back, and it'll be 1st down and 10 here for the Kirtland Hornets. No score, as we have played 9 minutes thus far in our opening quarter. And right back to this stack eye offense. The lead blocker there, 45, James Torok. They'll hand this one off to Mason Sullivan, who will see some time into the backfield. And Sullivan, on his first run of the afternoon, will carry for about 3 or 4 yards. They will rotate some guys in there between Torok, Nybacker, Sullivan. They'll all touch the football today. Quarterback Tommy Powers early on was keeping the football. Torok is going to line up out on the end this time. He's going to look at Powers. Second down play coming up here for the Hornets. And now another timeout is going to have to be used, and Tiger Laverde is not happy with his offense at all.
No.
Having to burn a second timeout of the first quarter as the play clock was all the way down to 4 as they got to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you can see some frustration for sure, and probably for good reason. I mean, this is a team that's had a ton of success on offense. Things are always hitting on all cylinders. You expect the same thing in this game, and you practice all week, and then all of a sudden there's some, mental busts, and I can see the frustration in coach there, and then the huddle, and telling the guys, hey, snap out of it. Every play matters. I mean, right now, we're almost through the first quarter of the state championship game. We need to get this thing right now.
You saw some of the numbers there for Coach Laverde. Overall for Kirtland, 14th playoff appearance. They have 3 state championships in 2011, 13, and 15. And boy, they are just the juggernaut up in Northeast Ohio, up in Lake County, that Coach Laverde has built here. Had an impressive opening drive that ended at the 35-yard line of Marion Local when they turned it over on downs. Now they've got the football out near midfield, right on the center of that Pro Football Hall of Fame logo here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Second down, and they'll throw a quick one out to the outside. Torok's got the catch. He slips out of a tackle with Reckman down the sideline and out of bounds at around the 32-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of about, well, it looks like they'll mark it back at the 15. Pickup of 17 yards as they get Joey Torok out in space.
Great call by Laverde here. And that was maybe why he was frustrated. They have a matchup. They've got their best player one-on-one, and that's what they want to do because they know he can make plays like this. If there's confusion and they give the team time to set up, then you can have some results that don't go your way. He gets it set back up, and Torok does a good job making the move and getting the yards.
First down from the 35, Mason Sullivan, and he's going to be grabbed by the leg and down at the 32-yard line. So a gain of almost 3 on the play. Looked like Dylan Heitkamp was one of the flyers in there on a stop for the defense of Marion Local. You see that playoff history here. Third time in 4 years for these two teams. So a lot of familiarity. Only maybe the names change, but the styles of play do not.
No, not at all. And that's what makes for a good program.
This time Sullivan will split to the top. And Torok will be the deep eye back. And it's the quarterback Powers, gets the pitch to Torok. He's got the corner and out of bounds at around the 17-yard line. It'll be first down and 10, a run of 15 yards for Torok that time.
Todd, this is why you don't judge a quarterback on his passing yards. Right here, he's got to make a decision on the option, pulls it out, gets to the third phase of that option, and Powers does a great job with the pitch. It looked easy right here because of the pitch, and he catches Torok right in motion, in stride there, and that's hard. And left-handed, by the way. He will go into the left. He gets a nice pitch out there for Torok, and right now this Hornet offense is rolling.
Officially, it's from the 16. Huge hole open up on the left side, and down to the 5-yard line is Torok. Boy, did Jack Bailey, the left tackle, he just blocked down and drove his man into the middle of the field, and that opened up a huge hole that time for Torok.
6'3", 290. Jack Bailey, and that's a guy you want to run over, playing angry. They're moving them all around, as you mentioned, on the on the line there, making some unbalanced right there. They're just running right over him, and you're right. Man, oh man, Torok gets 10 yards downfield before anybody gets to him, and that's a nice feeling as a running back.
First down and goal. Late stages first quarter. And it's Nybecker. Found a little room off to the right, and he's down to the 2. Second down and goal now for Kirtland. Boy, and you can pick your poison here if you're on offense. Torok 28 touchdowns. Nybecker's got 14. The quarterback's got 7 on the year.
75 touchdowns this offense has scored this year. It's incredible. It's a lot of touchdowns. It's a lot of stats. It's a lot of awards. But they need this one. They've got 75. They want 76 because this one's important to get that early lead, Todd, that we talked about as a key to the game for them.
Those are offensive touchdowns. The quarterback Powers on a sneak. And looks like he'll be short, so it'll be third down and goal. So those are just offensive touchdowns. 59 rushing touchdowns for this team through 14 games. Third and goal coming up.
I like that quarterback sneak, honestly. Powers is tough enough. We've seen it a couple times so far this game. Don't need to exchange the ball and hand it off to a running back. Keep feeding it to him and go right behind that big offensive line.
And the Hornets are just going to let the first quarter clock expire. They'll go to the other end of the field where they will have 3rd down and goal when we come back. No score, Marion local and Kirtland. Second quarter is coming up on Spectrum News 1. Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, second quarter about to get underway between Marion local and Kirtland. Scoreless at the end of one. With Matt D'Orazio, this is Todd Bell, Ashley Collins on our sidelines. Let's take a look at what we've got here so far in the first quarter of play. Joey Torok, first team All-Ohio running back. Get him out in space, Matt, here a little bit. He can do something with a football.
No doubt about it. You got to feed him, and it helps too when you got that offensive line driving guys back and giving you a lot of green turf to run through.
All right, now 3rd down and goal here coming up. They've handed it off. They've run a QB sneak. Where do you think they're going to go here on 3rd down?
You know, I think it's going to be a lot of the same. So far on 4th and short, they've gone to Powers. First time here inside the 1 yard line, they went to Powers again. And to me, I say go 2 more times.
All right, we'll see how it goes here. Austin Fulco, first team All-Ohio center, will snap it back. Powers will take it, but we've got motion against Kirtland before the play. Or did somebody line up offside?
Dead ball. Encroachment.
Yeah.
Defense number 11. Half the distance to the goal. 3rd down.
Really doesn't mean a whole lot right here, does it? Half a yard?
Not really, but you know, we always watch the reaction of the players. I saw Torok clapping a lot, so okay, wait a second. This kid, he's certainly not happy that we're going to go backwards.
Yeah.
But you're right, maybe gained a half a yard there, a foot maybe, but you can tell, you know, Powers was going to get the quarterback sneak there, and don't be surprised if he gets it again.
3rd down and goal, and it's Nybecker. Touchdown, Kirtland. 1 yard run.
How about that? Wide open, too. Nybecker goes through untouched. He leaves his feet for good reason, just trying to get in and make sure he gets to 6. But, man, that offensive line, keep an eye on them as being the players of the game. You see it right there. My goodness, just sealed off everybody. Nybecker goes through. And when I thought it was going to be a quarterback sneak, I'm sure Marion Local thought the same thing. A little bit of a wrinkle, not much, but just enough to get the 6 points.
Mario Roden will try the point after, 39 of 42 on the season. And this one is up, and it is good, and it's 7-0 in favor of Kirtland.
And that's a nice drive right there, and their one pass play was the key to me to kind of open things up. And then you're right here, second man through, untouched.
Look who was there, 74 again, Bailey.
It's a big human being, by the way. We're talking about 300 pounds, 6'4". You mentioned he's going to Kent State, very athletic. You know, you gotta go run over him, and he wants you to. You know, he's saying, "Hey, coach, I'm gonna take care of my guy, maybe a couple other along the way because I'm so big," and that's exactly what they've done on these drives so far.
So the storyline right now is time of possession and plays are being dominated by Kirtland. They've run 22 plays to just 8 thus far for Marion Local. And the quarterback, Nathan Bruns, he's off the training table. He's jogging around over on the sidelines. Looks as though he's going to give it a go when they get the football back, as you see that scoring drive. And remember, they took over at their own 45-yard line after they got the turnover on downs for Marion Local.
Yeah, I mean, this is an offense that has a game plan ready. They're executing well. They're hitting on all cylinders. And defensively, obviously, they're playing well. We just don't know enough yet because Marion Local's only run 8 plays, so we're not sure. And then, of course, the Bruins question mark is going to be key. You know, is he coming back, and how effective will he be?
Roden approaches, and he will send one over here, and that'll be taken, and a tackle broken, and Habadaz will work his way out to the 35-yard line. So that's where we're going to see Marion Local take over first down and 10. And let's send it downstairs to Ashley Collins.
Yeah, thanks, guys. For Marion Local right now, it's more than just a game. They're playing for something bigger, and their motto this year has been play strong, stay strong, super strong. Now that super is for their former assistant coach, Dan Toby, who passed away earlier this year from a brain tumor. And Coach Goodwin just said these kids went to him for everything. He was there in time of need, and he wants these kids to be more like him. Today, they're playing for him. They have a sticker on the back of their helmet for Dan Toby because he was such an inspiration to these kids and very tough for them to go through the season without him. So today it's for him as well as longtime assistant and AD Stan Wilker. So 2 stickers on the helmet for these guys today.
Matt, every community has those people, right?
Yeah.
They are the heartbeat of a program, and that's what Dan Toby was and Stan as well for this program.
Todd, that's what high school athletics is about. The competition is one thing. The relationships and lifetime memories are another thing that you get that really is the impactful thing that we see every single day.
It is Bruins back out there at quarterback, and his first throw coming off of that injury is a perfect strike to Matt Rethman. There was not a big window to fit that one in. Rethman makes the catch, first down, Marion local.
Todd, 1, good to see Bruins back. 2, good to see him that he can step and throw and,
right.
get deliver and get things done. I'll tell you what. As a quarterback and the kind of offense they run, the one thing they may only have to eliminate is him moving around a little bit. He's big and strong enough where he can just sit in the pocket and make quick decisions, and his arm is certainly strong enough.
Here's a slant. Tangeman's got it, and he's got another first down. 12 yards to the 40-yard line. And when you've got a 6'4" target like Nick Tangeman, go ahead and throw it to him.
Yeah, and that's the key. Quick decision, get the ball in your hands. You're not going to take any hits. And you can see Bruins right here. Catch, throw, no movement at all, which is he's able to do, and it's nice to see him toughen this thing out. Obviously, if it's a state championship game, you want to make it happen. You've had a tremendous year. And then once again, making a nice throw to the big receiver.
It appeared that it was the right leg and ankle, the one they were looking at. So you as a former quarterback, that is going to be your drive leg. That's going to be your push leg. So what does that do here for Bruins?
You know what? It could take maybe a little bit off the ball, but I think he's in such a position. He has such good arm action. He throws the ball so well that the key is accuracy. He doesn't necessarily have to have a bunch of speed on the football, make quick decisions, throw it with accuracy and anticipation.
First down and 10 from the 40-yard line. He drops back, throws a little one over here into double coverage. Tangeman's got it. First down at the 29-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you what
a throw.
Todd, how many times have we seen something like this where someone kind of gets a little nick here or there at any position, they come back a little bit more focused and start to deliver. And we're talking about a senior quarterback with a ton of moxie, great basketball player, going to Finley to play basketball, so you know he's confident, as those guys are. And he's coming back saying, hey, I missed one series, half of a series, and now I'm ready, I'm focused, and I'm delivering.
From the 29-yard line, Tangeman, who had 6 catches for 120 yards and 2 scores a year ago, getting involved here. They throw one back here to Habadaz, but it's going to be blown up on the backside. Louis Lonkar, linebacker, read that one all the way. It'll be a loss of 3.
And that was one by the Hornets that was read right from the beginning. I mean, that was one where they knew the formation. There's something they've seen on film. We know how to react. This is a screen that Marion Local has run all year with a lot of success. But the Hornets are right there and ate it right up.
So a second down and long now for this Marion Local offense. They'll spread it out. 4 wide receivers. Habadaz will shift to the left of Bruins, who will throw it. Steps up. Now Bailey flushes him out of the pocket. Dumps it over here to the left and out of play. So he was able to throw it away as he had the running back Habadaz in the area. It'll be 3rd down and almost 14.
Todd, I thought Kirtland was going to be in trouble defensively. They were scrambling around. There was a lot of confusion there, but they got in the right spot right before the snap, and then Bruins didn't have anybody open. And for him, with the injury that he has, the clock maybe have to be a little bit quicker. You're used to scrambling, making plays. Today, for the rest of the game, you may have to kind of temper that a little bit and just throw the football away like he did right there and live to play another day, because you're trying to avoid as many hits as possible.
Officials stop play momentarily to reset the play clock. As you see how Marion Local got to this championship game. That was a big game against Coldwater in that regional championship, because that was their only loss on the season. They lost in week 10 in overtime to Coldwater, then they got him in the regional final.
Every year, no matter when they play him, it's always great. In fact, they should just play 10 games in a row.
Put 9,
and then put
53
whoever
on the
wins
game
goes
clock,
to the state
please.
championship
9-5-3.
from that area. But yeah, to see them come back, and I was actually a little surprised. 40-19 win when they had lost in double overtime. And they're so familiar with each other. Sometimes things just go one way or the other, and you get a couple good bounces, and that's why you get the score. But that was a big win for them to know that they could get to the state championship.
All right, 3rd down. After resetting the clock, ready to go. Rethman comes in motion. They will throw a deep ball down the right side. It's going to turn into a jump ball, and Rethman won it. They'll have it inside the 10-yard line down at the 5. And right now, the receivers, Tangeman and Rethman, are making the plays on the back end of great throws by Bruns.
And you could tell Bruns, obviously, we're not worried about this. Watch this. I think he gets his hand hit. Stops his throw and still throws an absolute dime. And almost drops in there perfectly, and he's still getting his hand hit. So, I mean, things are going his way. In fact, you could see him chuckling as he was running up the field to a couple of the defenders saying, hey, you got my hand, but I still threw a great ball.
So first down and goal. Slant over the middle and a little bit over the top of Tangeman. Tight defense on the corner by Connor Grahn. It'll be second down and goal from the 5.
And Grahn's got man out there. I love the no call there. That's just good defense. I mean, he's right there trying to make a play. No need to throw a flag. He goes with the right arm, the correct arm, and he makes a nice play. You got to reward the defense sometimes when you're one-on-one on an island out there and you're just playing good defense. Sometimes there's a tendency to throw flags when they don't need to be thrown. Right there's a good no call.
Second down and goal. Marion Local trying to tie this one up. They give it to Rethman, turns upfield, slips through, and he reached out but just short of the goal line. Third down and goal coming up as Rethman was able to just kind of slide his way sideways and almost got into the end zone.
Todd, that was a play we saw on fourth down where he slipped. This time he doesn't slip. In fact, he gets breaks a tackle and gets a couple extra yards. It's exactly what it was. Gets his feet underneath him, makes a nice cut, gets an extra yard.
This time they hand it off to Fleck, and he's in. Touchdown, Marion Local. Brandon Fleck on a 1-yard run.
How about that answer right there? Not only do you get the 6 points, but you do it with your quarterback through the air. I mean, if you were worried about Bruns not being on the mark, you no need to worry anymore because he was throwing dimes all the way down the football field. They handed off and pounded in for the last yard here, as they typically do, and well done. Once again, you know we talk about the O-line up front for Kirtland.
Yep.
This Marion Local O-line is second to none as well.
Yeah, Berkey and Schlarman there on the right, opening up that right side of the line as Alex Klosterman, a junior, will try this point after. And it is up, and it is good, and we are tied 7 apiece here in our state championship game, Division 6.
We got a ball game, don't we?
We'll take a timeout. Back to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. The Brandon Fleck touchdown run has tied the game. 7-7 between Marion Local and Kirtland. 9:15 to go second quarter. The Flyers, Matt, have just tied up the game as Nathan Bruns comes back into the game and helps lead them to this scoring drive.
Quick decisions, strong arm, very accurate. See this one right here, long throw, arm gets hit, but he puts it on the outside. Great catch, great adjustment, and then there it was. They finish it off behind that nice, strong offensive line, and this is a ball game. Everybody's right where they need to be.
Both teams turned it over on downs on their opening possession. Both teams finish off drives on their second possessions.
I'm telling you what, I kind of expected something like this. I mean, obviously we weren't barring injuries and things like that, and you see Bruns was just fine, maybe even better, came back even better and more focused as we talked about. But these are two teams that you expect this is going to come down to the last quarter because here's the other thing too. There's not a lot of possessions. I mean, the way they eat up clock, I mean, we're almost at halftime now. It's 7-7, and you think about the number of possessions that each team's going to have from here until the end of the game, and there's not many, so there's not a chance really for a big bulge unless we see some turnovers, which both these defenses do well.
Marion Local just kind of willed their way last year, had control of it by halftime, 134-11. It does not seem to be the case here today.
No, not at all. And as far as right now, things can change on a dime. You know, when one team figures one team out or something like that happens. But no, I think that it goes back to the fact that the Hornets really, after last year, probably didn't put their best foot forward. They've got a chance to do that here, and they're showing up.
Straight on. Square-toed shoe. Kickoff is away.
Love it.
Sullivan from the 15. And he'll work his way out over the 25 and spins forward to around the 27. And that is where Kirtland will take over first down and 10. Spectrum News 1 is a new kind of news channel dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across Ohio. Spectrum News 1, always Ohio, always refreshing, always on, exclusively on Spectrum. Are you a collector of memorabilia?
I mean, it can be. There's a little bit. I'm not like fanatical.
I'm getting you a spot-built square-toed shoe.
Well, I was just going to say,
Christmas.
Speaking of refreshing, this should be an OHSAA rule that everybody's got to go straight on. I mean, let's throw it back.
The spot-built still exists as Powers will keep on first down over the 29 out to the 30-yard line.
I'm sure we could find a pair of 12s and that could just kick around the front yard. Neighbors might not like it, but my straight-on kicking would improve.
The things that are. It's 2018, but some things just never go away,
and it should almost bring it back. Everything seems to come back full circle at some point. Why not the straight-on kick?
Gain of 3 on first down for quarterback Tommy Powers. And they'll run the counter this time, and Torok will muscle his way forward for 3 more. So it'll be 3rd down and 3 or 4. Now coming in, these numbers are just mind-boggling. 4,614 career rushing yards and 62 touchdowns for Torok. He had 54 yards in this game a year ago. And Matt, today, if he rushes for 100 yards, he'll be the all-time leading rusher in Kirtland history.
Unbelievable. And you can see just a little bit of that jump cut right there. Just some stuff that's hard to teach. He's got natural instincts. And here's the key. You get all those yards for another reason, too. You're tough. I mean, you're taking a lot of hits over the years, and you've gotten back up.
They toss it to him. He's searching for room, and he ran right into a brick wall at the 35-yard line and short by 2 yards of the line to gain. And after that opening couple of drives where they're able to move the ball down the field, Nick Tangeman stuck his nose in there that time defensively and made the stop.
He did, and you can see Torok trying to be patient, but it was too many Flyers coming up making the play. You see right there, you got 7 gold helmets right there making the play. And when you got 7 in front of you, it's tough. Torok tried to wait, tried to be patient, because there was just nothing there for him.
Mike Alfieri will do the punting. He's one of their offensive linemen. They snap it back, and he will send a knuckler downfield. That'll be fielded at the 35. Rethman out around the 44-yard line, and that is where Marion Local will take over. So we have our first 3 and out of the day.
And first punt?
Yep.
I wasn't expecting that. In fact, I was thinking they were going to go for it right there. Coach Laverde was thinking, you know what, this may be a little bit, too risky, and so he punts and tries to, at least get some yards back. And I think that the fear of punting is the fact that Bruins gets the football back.
And you see the quarterback, Bruins, 5 out of 8, 57 yards so far, as we are down to 7:08 to play in our first half. It's Rethman, and that one was behind him and incomplete. It was a forward pass, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. First bad ball we've seen out of Bruins.
I'm going to tell you right now, Todd, that's a sneaky hard throw. It really is. It looks like it should be easy, like a long handoff. The angle's tough. Do I put it behind him? Do I put it on him? Upfield, if I put it upfield too much, it might lead him into a disaster. So, a miss there, not the end of the world. That is a tough throw for a quarterback.
2nd down. Bruins to the air again. He's got Rethman, nearly picked off as Dominic Capretta stepped up in the secondary, read it perfect, and it went right through his hands.
Wow. Bruins tried to fit it in there, and almost as if Capretta was baiting him a little bit, because this is that's a tight spot, that's a laser, that's a great throw, but Capretta is right there, and it's little plays like that. Not only, it's one thing to break it up, it's another thing to change the game on a pick right there, because you're going to the house. And those are things where you're thinking to myself, I saw it, I got to go up there and make the play. That one got away from him.
So 3rd down and long. Rethman is the man in motion. Bruins again with time, surveys, throws high and incomplete. It'll be 4th down, trying to hit Peyton Noddy. And how about that? This game is mirroring each other. Both teams turn over on downs. Both teams score touchdowns. Both teams go 3 and out.
Yeah, and on this one, you got it. And Bruins would probably agree. Just off the mark, a little indecision, a little high right there, a little short on the swing pass, threw into coverage right there. So 3 kind of ones where he's confused on. You could almost tell right there. You got to bounce back and say, that was just a bad series.
Brandon Fleck does their punting, end over end. Sullivan comes up, fields it off the turf, got by a couple of Flyers, now into the open, and he'll work his way out around the 37-yard line. Nice little return that time from Mason Sullivan, who has a punt return this season. And with 6:44 The Kirtland Hornets will take over, first down and 10 at around their own 37-yard line.
How about Sullivan? Just no knee hitting right there. Just kind of does a little squat position. It's hard enough to catch a punt, let alone, in that position right there. So he does a good job getting the football. To me, that's always the scariest play. You got to return. So many things can go wrong. Sullivan, very confident, makes the catch and also gets some yards to boot.
So first down and 10. Joey Torok will start this possession. 8 carries, 48 yards on the morning. And he'll get another one here. And a nice little push that time on the right side of the line. More of what we saw in the first quarter out of this Kirtland offense. And that'll be 4 strong yards there for Torok, averaging 13.5 yards a carry.
That's pretty good. I mean, if you like first downs.
Yes. I mean, every time he touched the ball, he averaged a first down. Now, he didn't get 13 every time, but the sledding is a little tougher today, but that's pretty good. Second down and 6. Powers, this time, play action. Throws over here. James Torok will make the catch, and they'll mock him out of bounds at the 46-yard line, just short of the first down marker. And prior to this third down play, let's check in with Ashley.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Tommy Powers had sustained multiple tears in the labrum of his shoulder. He had to miss an entire basketball season because of that. He was in street clothes last year during the state championship game. Coach said he can run, he can throw. In all of his years coaching, he's never had a QB like this, completing nearly 70% of his throws. He just does not make a lot of mistakes.
That was a great throw right there to set him up third down and short. You see Marion local up at the line of scrimmage. Torok's going to fight for it. It'll depend on the spot, and he's going to be short. And it's going to be fourth down and less than a yard in the first quarter. They went for it here. They're going to line right up and go for it here on fourth down.
Yeah, you see Coach Laverde's right away. Line up, get it going, doesn't hesitate, go for it.
Powers, quarterback sneak, he's going to have it. He saw that little seam off to the left. He went right to the left of his center. Fulco, first down, Kirtland. That's just an automatic, right?
It is, and here's the thing too, Todd. As a quarterback, when you get up there on the quick decision, you can tap the rear end of your center, say, okay, I'm going this way because this, the center you can see better. I'm going to go left. I'm going to go right. Then he knows, and he can make maybe a little bit of adjustment in his block because the quarterback sees the seam, knowing he only has to get a yard and a half.
So first down and 10 as the drive stays alive. Second time they've converted a fourth down. Torok on a delay. He's got 10 this time as he's right to the first down marker. Boy, that was the first time we've been able to see Torok with a head of steam and running downhill.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a nice seam right there. You see it. That's a great look. You can see it. As a running back, you're right here. You got your kickout block. You got guys in front of you. And then all of a sudden you're lowering your pads and you're getting another 8-yard, 9-yard gain.
He was just short of the first down. And it is fun to watch these offensive linemen work as the quarterback Powers will find a seam. He ran in behind his running back Torok, who threw a block that time. 5 yards, first down for Kirtland. Yeah. We just don't see this anymore with big physical offensive linemen because now, right, it's all pass blocking for these guys.
Yeah, typically, but Todd, we've seen enough high school football, no matter what division it is, a team that can run the football, especially late in this cold weather, usually ends up in these games. I mean, we'll see it all weekend. The guys that run the ball the best are the ones that win championships.
First down. Quarterback Powers. He'll keep it, and he'll make his way to the 31-yard line. And that's going to be a gain of 5. I want you to keep your eye on the clock. 4.5 minutes to go now in the second quarter. Where they are right now, they could run this quarter clock out if they don't have a big play.
And maybe thinking about that too. We talked about number of possessions just with these two style of offenses and the way these defenses play. You're thinking, I only have X amount of possessions all game. Let's use them all right.
Joey Torok, and he's going to be close to the first down marker. Mike Russ is now in there as that lead blocker wearing number 12. And he was out there throwing a block, and it is enough for a first down. Torok raises his hand, says, I need a break. So Luke Gardner will replace him. And then
Coach said no. Said tough luck. How about that? That's why he's got almost, all those yards. Hey, get back in there.
That was funny. Tapped his helmet. Coach, I'm coming out.
Nope.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. Get back. In fact, we're probably giving you the football, so refocus.
From the 27. And it is Torok. Off to the right, and he'll get forward progress to the 25-yard line. could be one where if the game didn't have so much meaning, you would just take the hand off and take a knee and go, Coach, I got to come out. He's trying to.
He's trying again, yes. And here's the thing, whether Torok gets the football or doesn't, he draws so much attention. The defense knows they've got to stop them, and they can see he's tired a little bit, but even just as they use him as a decoy on this play is enough to have him on the football field versus getting some water on the sideline.
They're struggling to get lined up here, a little different formation. They'll go empty backfield this time. Powers on a quarterback draw. Will work his way to the 20 and down at the 19-yard line. Grant Meyer will team up with Sam Hilsman on the tackle. It'll be third down at about 3.
And Laverde's thinking right there, okay, we go empty backfield, move Torok out. Once again, he's going to draw some attention. That spreads everybody out, gives us a chance for Powers to take a little step. Looks like he's going to maybe do a quick 3-step drop. But no, it's a quarterback draw, and it's a nice gainer there on second down. We talked about the conditioning factor. You're challenging your team, you're also challenging the other team, and 2 can last the longest with this up-tempo offense.
Zach Samsa will set up with Bonich. Tight ends are left. They run it right. Quarterback keep, then the pitch, and Torok will run out of bounds at around the 17. He is right at the first down marker.
And he had a little burst there, too. You can see him. Man, oh, man. He's struggling right now because he's carried the ball so much and taken a few hits. He's been on the football field quite a bit, but he got the first down there.
And finally, he said, okay, come over here and get a break. Look at him.
Unbelievable. That's what it's all about, though. You got one more game left, right? And coaches were probably thinking that, hey, we need you. You've been our guy for 4 years. We need you for these last 2.5, 3 quarters.
First down. Clock closing in on 2 minutes to play first half. Nybecker off to the right, and he'll be knocked down at the 11-yard line by Tangeman and others for Marion local. And this methodical, just wear you down drive of Kirtland here, running out this second quarter clock.
And Nybecker's no slouch, by the way. 14 touchdowns himself, averaging 8 yards a carry. I mean, he's a guy too that fills in perfect for Torok, and just a senior at 6 foot 190, another tough kid.
And they'll give it to him again. Made a great cutback to avoid a tackler. And he'll be very close to the first down marker. Hilsman, the player of the year defensively, had him. And then Nybecker just slipped right past him.
And Tiger predictions coming true here as you look at the clock rolling down. And that's exactly what Coach Laverde's thinking is, we may not want to score too early. You never think about that. But you got Brooms on the other side who can throw it all over the yard. You want to maybe score here with little time as possible.
First and goal to go. Torok back in there. He'll line up on the wing to the right. Nybecker is the back. They'll give it to Gardner. Sweeps to the outside. He's got the corner and a touchdown for Kirtland. Luke Gardner, a junior. First carry of the game. It's a touchdown.
And Todd, that's what you call fresh legs right there. You could even tell the speed that he has naturally than where we are in the football game where you're getting your first carry, you got some excitement, you got a little counter, and you've got some turf in front of you, and you're thinking to yourself, all you got to do is run fast, and you can get to that corner, and you can get 6.
Roden for the point after. The snaps rolled back, and the point after is no good. Grazia did a great job of getting it on the tee, but the snap back skipped back, and a point left out there. 13-7 now, Kirtland on top.
Yeah, and that's a big point. You hate to see that if you're a Hornet fan.
This is an impressive drive. Joey Torok had a bulk of it, and we saw this offensive line, Matt, get back to what they did in the first quarter in opening up those holes, whether it was Powers, Nybecker, or Torok, or here Gardner, as you said, just able to use his speed to get to the corner.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a great call by Coach Laverde, getting a guy with fresh legs, a guy who's once again had he's got 622 yards this year rushing as a junior, 5 touchdowns, his 6th right there rushing, and I'm telling you what, having those multiple guys is key. You can use them right when you need them and get the points you need.
And now we'll see Marion local with all 3 of their timeouts. It would probably depend on this kickoff and how good a field position they end up with. Now remember, last time they did the shorter kick and they had a pretty good return out of it. and gave them good starting field position at the 43-yard line, but they weren't able to do anything with it. So they will await this kickoff here from Roden. All 3 timeouts for Marion local. And you see by the angle that the kicker is taking that they're probably going to chip shot it again over here. And it'll be Habadaz from inside his 25, and he'll be undercut by Sullivan out at the 32-yard line. That is where Marion local will take over. The teams participating in this contest, thank you for your tremendous support throughout the season. Please remember to act with dignity, speak with courtesy, and play with pride. For more information and resources on sporting behavior, programming, and expectations, visit ohsaa.org/RTG. Please remember to respect the game.
Todd, 3 timeouts with Bruins in your backfield, calling the plays, throwing the ball around. You got plenty of time to get this football down the football field.
They will scrimmage from the 33-yard line. And Bruins right back to the air. Fires it to a wide open Ungren, who will catch it and step out of bounds near the 39-yard line. First time we have seen Tanner Ungren make a catch today. Had 7 coming in and a couple of scores, and they'll stop the clock.
This is a nice throw here and a nice read, a little smash route. Looks high-low on the outside. Both defenders go with the corner, throw the hitch, and take it all day. If you can keep in bounds and get a little extra, that's a little bonus as well.
Bruins fakes it, now going deep. Double coverage for Tangeman, and it's overthrown. Incomplete down at the 25-yard line. Capretta, the safety, was coming over. Connor Grahn, the corner, was stride for stride. And the incompletion will stop the clock. It'll be 3rd down.
And if you're Kirtland, you know things like this are coming because of the arm that Bruins has. You got to keep things in front of you. You got to be able to contest 50-50 balls like that right there and make them earn it. Nothing gets behind you. One of those types of things that they're trying to. They did a little pump fake, hoping that you'd bite. But if you're the Hornets, you're not biting on anything right now. Keep everything in front of you, tackle them, and make plays.
This team allowed only 64 points this year on defense. 32 of them came in the last 2 games of the playoffs. Bruins on 3rd down. He'll shuffle, he'll fire, it'll be caught by Habadaz. 1st down, he's close to midfield where he's undercut there by Capretta. And again, maybe not as elusive as he was at the start of the day, but just enough to buy him some time and hit Habadaz out of the flat.
Yeah, and that's a nice throw, a little off-balance throw with the receiver running away from you. But once again, you can use the middle of the football field. You got 3 timeouts. The clock stops as the chains move for 1st downs. Right here's a nice throw. It's a great catch. It's a nice chunk of yards. You got the ball at the 50-yard line, 58 seconds, 3 timeouts, and you've got a high-powered offense with athletes everywhere that make plays. So, right now, if you're Coach Goodwin, you're feeling, okay, we're in a good spot. We've got to find a way to get points, though.
Right at midfield, 1st down. Quarterback Nathan Bruins threw for a couple of scores in last year's game. Going to try another deep one. Rethman is out there. He's got it and out of bounds, short of the 25-yard line. Another strong throw by Nathan Bruins, and they'll move the chains.
That's a great throw right there, just over the defender's head on the outside there. The outside release is key, though. Kirtland can't let the guy get outside because, once again, that doesn't give you help from your safety. Bruins sees it, throws the ball in the perfect spot. Not only is it a chunk of yards, gets a couple extra afterwards, and we talked about it. They can move the ball down the football field as well as anybody.
I've been impressed with these guys catching the football. That was not an easy catch. From the 26, Bruins will swing it out here to Rethman. Tries to cut up field, and Nybecker hit him first. Torok will bring him down. It'll be a no gain, maybe a loss. And Coach Goodwin and Marion local will use its 1st timeout of the afternoon, stopping the clock with 43 seconds to play until halftime.
And this is a tough call right here. If you're Laverde, you want to, maybe you put pressure on them. Bruins can't move around. Or do you give up this right here? You come up and make tackles. But, it's a tough proposition for this Hornet defense trying to slow down this offense, especially as they're coming down here right before half with 43 seconds left.
For the latest Ohio High School Athletic Association news, visit the website, OHSAA.org. The OHSAA website is more than just championships, so log on today. I live on that website during the season. There's just it's tireless amounts of information that we use to help prepare for our games, and for you historians, you can go back and Look at box scores. Look at all the state championship finals scores.
Yeah,
it's
fantastic. I got to go back to the catch you did. You talked about receivers making good catches. Todd, you're right, man. It's body control, hand strength, awareness where you are in the football field. These Flyers have it. There's no doubt. And the one thing is they've gotten a lot of experience over the years. You look at the stats for Bruins. I mean, we're talking about over 2,500 yards of passing here. So these receivers are excited that they know the ball is going to be coming their way. They've just got to make plays.
Bruins here on second down. Looking over the middle, he has to scramble, now throws into a lot of traffic and incomplete. Tangeman tipped it, and Ungren was behind everybody, and Tanner almost was able to make that catch.
That was, he might, you asked Bruins, Ungren might be the guy he was thinking. I'm not sure, or it's one of those as a quarterback, you got lucky because you overthrew the guy you meant to throw to, and you hit the other guy. I've done that multiple times where, I meant to throw to that guy. You see Ungren's wide open right there. And I don't know if maybe it's the old distraction drill. He saw a bunch of hands in front of him. You lose track of the football for a split second, and then it gets up on you faster than you're thinking, and then all of a sudden you don't catch the football. And right there, that might have been the case.
And now we get whistles stopping
Before
things.
the snap, timeout, Marion local. Their second timeout of the half.
You got to call timeout here. I like this. If you're not sure, these are important downs with a little bit of time. You've got the timeouts. And now we're talking, you could still work the outsides because of the getting out of bounds. But once again, you got the timeout and the one timeout left in your back pocket. If you do work the middle of the football field, and you want to get everybody on the same page. And so that's exactly why you do it. You call the timeout here, and you feel good about what's going on.
All right, so we'll see what they do here on third down. Both teams huddling here. Klosterman, their place kicker, 3 out of 5 on the season. This would be 44 yards from here if they don't get anything further. So 36 seconds. They'll bunch the formation this time. It'll be Bruins. All kinds of time. Steps to his left. Throws, and it's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. And it'll be fourth down. Caleb Stevenson knocked it down. Now we'll see what Coach Goodwin chooses to do here. And it appears they're going to go for it.
Sorry, and Todd, if you're Coach Laverde, you got to be excited. You know how hard it is to guard people for this long? Yep. I mean, typically, okay, we got somebody. Now we're talking 1,007, 1,008, 1,009, and these Hornets are all over the Flyers. There's nowhere to go with the football. They're right around. So these guys are playing great defense on the back end here for Kirtland.
I mean, it looked like they rushed 3. It looked like Stevenson was like a spy, kind of going back and forth with Bruins, and he was the one who knocked it down.
Yeah, and even then, you've played enough backyard football in turkey bowls where you lose track of your guy after 7-8 seconds. Like, hey, this play's still going on, and the Hornets were all over their guys playing great defense.
Marion local will use its final timeout before this fourth down play. Reminder that coming up at halftime, Sophia Constantine will be back at Spectrum News 1 headquarters. She'll have update news and weather. And then Mary Lee Melendez will catch up with the OHSAA and their Director of Communications, Tim Streed. That is all coming up, along with first half highlights and stats. What is in the Turkey Bowl in the Durazio backyard? What is the rush? How long is the count before somebody can rush the quarterback?
Is it 5? It's a 5 Mississippi.
Okay.
That depending on who you are and how old you are, it can go a little quicker. and if you're younger, then a little bit more healthy or athletic. Okay. It usually goes into the 8, 9, 10. Hey, you went too soon. So it's all predicated on age and experience and that sort of thing.
When we played backyard, if you faked the handoff, it was an automatic rush.
Blitz, yeah. You can't fake that handoff. No. I'm with you. There's lots of good rules in backyard football.
All right, fourth down and 11 here for Marion local, trying to keep this drive alive in the waning seconds of our second quarter. Bruins to the air. He's looking Rethman's way. Goes back the other direction. It's a jump ball again, and Cron, the defensive back, has got the interception. So he went to the back corner of the end zone, trying to hit his big target, Tangeman, and Cron had him played perfectly. And Kirtland will get a stop, and they'll be able to head to the locker room with a 6-point lead.
Yeah, the senior right there, Connor Grahn, does a good job keeping the receiver on the inside. Ball's thrown inside too, so it's a nice, easy play for him. That's one where if you're a quarterback, you want to err on the outside, keep it up high. You've got a receiver that's taller than the defensive back. Ball's inside, it's low. Defense wins most every time right there, and that's a huge play for the Hornets.
First interception of the season for Grahn, 17th defensively by Kirtland. And Matt, to this point, they have held this vaunted offensive Marion local to only 7 points, and they'll have a 6-point halftime lead.
Absolutely, played a great half of football and left these Flyers going into halftime with a terrible taste in their mouth and something they're hoping to piggyback off of coming off in the second half.
So Marion local with a couple of touchdowns by Nybecker and Gardner, and now Ashley Collins has Coach Laverde.
Thanks, guys. Coach, you were able to set the tone early, maximize the time of possession. How can that continue?
Keep doing what we're doing. The guys up front got to keep getting it done. We got to take care of the football and run hard, block hard, and have some fun. It's a great game. It's a great opponent, great game. We got a long way to go.
Yeah, you get another shot at them, of course. You had a big momentum play scoring, but then the interception. I mean, what momentum that was now going into the half.
Well, the extra point killed us, and so it was good to get a stop. So we have the lead going to the locker room, but there's a lot of game left.
Good luck in the second half, Coach, guys.
Ashley, thank you very much. 13-7. Kirtland leads Marion local. The Hornets are unbeaten and #1 in the state. Marion local's the defending champs. Should be a fun second half. Stay with us. More to come here on Spectrum News 1. 13-7, Kirtland and Marion local in our Division 6 state championship game. Todd Bell, Matt Durazio, Ashley Collins, our hard-working Spectrum News 1 crew, bringing you all the great sights and sounds here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. This is how we got here, and Joey Torak, who's done a great job all day long running, and on plays like this, Matt, they get him out into the open, and then Nybecker for the first score of the game for Kirtland.
Yeah, nothing fancy by Kirtland, but a couple wrinkles here and there was just enough to, get them the 2 scores.
Nathan Bruins, injured on their opening series of the game, came back, and he's having himself a great first half.
He really is. Outside of a couple throws that you expect, he's played well. You see right here, they finished it off. This is to tie the football game up actually at 7-7, and he did a good job answering when they were down 7-0.
Yeah, Brandon Fleck with a touchdown run there. Long scoring drive here for Kirtland is capped off by the 7-yard touchdown run by Luke Gardner. But they fail on the extra point, and then in the late seconds of the first half, Marion local on a 4th down and 11, just trying to get one to Tangeman in the end zone, intercepted by Cron. That stops the first half. It's 13-7 in favor of Kirtland.
Yeah, and on that last drive, the Hornets did a great job on defense, containing that high-powered offense, and did a good job not giving up any points.
And so there you see the numbers in the first half. Not surprised. You see the rushing numbers for Kirtland, the passing numbers for Marion local. How about the time of possession, however?
Absolutely, that's the key right there. There's been no turnovers as well, so that's kind of kept the kind of an even playing field. And then it's funny because the Ashley's interview with Coach Laverde on the way out, he mentioned turnovers, and I'm sure that's something he's preaching at halftime, saying, hey, if we don't turn the football over and we play exactly the way we played in the first half, we're going to be holding that trophy up.
So Marion local making their way back out onto the field for the second half of play here, led by their quarterback, Nathan Bruins. They trail by 6 points. It will be Marion local football to start the third when we come back.
The 2018 OHSAA Football Championships on Spectrum News 1 are presented by Aries Sportswear, custom apparel made easy. The American Dairy Association Mid-East, fuel up with chocolate milk. Blaster, work it like a pro. And by Spectrum. Are you ready for what's next? Think forward.
You ever been in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, partner? And all those busts that John Madden says talk to each other?
They do, don't they?
They do. Have you ever been in there?
I have not, no.
You've not been in the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
There's, for some reason, I got what we're trying to get in, and some guy with a hat and a gun got me and put some things around my wrists and said, "You're not allowed in here." No, I haven't been in there. It's crazy. I've been here my whole life and love football as much as the next guy, and I haven't been in there.
All right, prior to our second half, Ashley caught up with Coach Goodwin.
All right, Coach, in the first half, time and possession for Kirtland was huge, of course. When you look at the first half, though, how will you guys respond? You said if you're down, it's okay. You know these guys will fight back.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to give up by any stretch. Hopefully we can make a couple adjustments. Kirtland's a great team, a great program, and this game is not a big surprise to us.
Saw a lot of similarities between the two teams in that first half. Got to separate yourself a little bit. A big part of what you do so well, of course, is your quarterback play. We saw the injury. How's he feeling?
He's going to go. He's fine. So fine for the second half anyway. So he's a competitor. So he'll do his best.
Coach, last thing, what was the message at the half, of course, with the interception right before you go in? What was the mood-like message in there?
It was business-like. We got to play better. We got to find a way to get off the field on defense. But we get the ball this half and we get on score, we could take the lead. So, we got to stay within one score of them, or that time of possession will hurt us.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Find a way to get off the field.
Yeah,
that was the message. And it's tough when they've got that running game going. And that goes back to one of our keys, stop the stack eye. And they struggled a little bit. They were outplayed 40-29 plays in that first half.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that where these two programs have been and what they've accomplished, at halftime was probably the same thing. I mean, for both teams. There's no need to panic. We're within a score. Even if it was a couple scores, I think it would have been the same reaction. You could tell Coach was calm. Guys are calm. They know they have a half of football to play. They're a touchdown and an extra point away from taking the lead. There's like Coach said, there's a lot of business-like approach for both these teams. Now it's just a matter of playing a half of football between two of the best teams in the state.
They're excited because they got out of school today.
True. It's a good reason to get out of school. They're used to it every year.
Yes, they are.
In fact, it's probably a day off.
It's on the calendar.
Yeah.
So Kirtland will be kicking off. Marion Local won the toss, and they deferred to the second half, and it sets up perfectly for them here as they will start half number 2 trailing by 6 with the football. And we'll see this Marion Local offense get back to work. Roden has the ball teed up, and again, you'll see him, the way he will angle. It will likely end up in the hands of Habadaz. This time he'll kick kind of a low line drive, a one-hopper, and it'll be fielded by Rethman, and he'll rumble his way out over the 35 to the 37-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Marion Local. Now, Nathan Brune's partner in the first half of play, 9 of 19, 97 yards. Had the interception on the last play of the half, and more of just kind of a jump ball on 4th down. So really that interception doesn't really, it's not a big deal for him. But there were times in that first half where I thought it felt like he was squeezing the football, throwing it maybe a little too hard, overshooting some guys. Did you notice that as well?
You know what, I think he had some good throws and some bad throws. I think it's for him to come out in the second half, try to not overthink it, just react, trust his eyes, and make some good throws.
And to let him throw it here on 1st down, and a little high that time. Was it intercepted? No. Joey Torak almost was able to pick that one up off of the turf. Throw a little high for Rethman. 2nd down and 10.
And although that was maybe a touch high, I mean, there's a lot of people involved in here. You know, he's trusting that Rethman can make that throw, and I'm just a little bit off the mark. Not too bad, a little high, but he's hoping maybe he can bring it in because he's brought it in before. The other thing, too, with those quick throws is you throw the ball with no seams, so you catch and throw, so maybe you get the laces. Sometimes you don't, and right there he didn't, and that has a tendency to maybe have the ball come out not as clean as normal.
2nd down. And it's Bruins again. He's got Rethman open over here, but he's just going to throw it out of bounds. Didn't see him cleanly enough. Officials are saying there is nobody in the area. And now a flag will come out as it looks as though.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 5. 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Loss of down. 3rd down.
You could hear Bruins in the background there talking to the other official saying he was right there, but I'm not so sure this time.
Yeah, and I think if he knew he was right there, he'd have thrown to him because he was open. And he did the right thing, just trying to throw the football away, but he's got to throw it down the football field and not behind the line of scrimmage right there, and that's why it was called. But the other thing, too, for him, we saw after he came back, after he got nicked up a little bit, he came out, he seemed like he was seeing the field great. He was throwing the ball on time, right down the field. And then the series after that, the end of the half, and right now, maybe just not seeing things as clearly as normal, and you got to give credit to the Hornets and their defense.
3rd down and long after the loss of down and the penalty for the intentional grounding. Bruins again scrambling. Now a penalty marker comes out behind the play. This time he throws one for Tangeman, incomplete. And we'll let him sort out the penalty that's likely going to be holding here. It's interesting what Kirtland has chosen to do. And we saw it there at the tail end of the second quarter. We'll get the call first here.
Holding. Offense, number 13. Penalties declined. 4th down.
With a wounded quarterback, you would think they might pin their ears back and come after it. They're rushing 3 and dropping 8.
Well, you know what? And you're right, Todd. You could go one way or the other.
I mean, look at the defensive linemen.
Yeah, they're dropping back, and here's why. They know that Bruins is not as mobile as he typically is. Where he may have a little bit more speed. Typically, right now, he's not getting around the pocket as well as he normally does.
Fleck with a nice high punt this time. That Sullivan with a man in his face fields and going to make something out of it as he gets to the Marion local 45-yard line, and that'll be their best starting field position on the plus side of the 50 today.
Sullivan's fearless. How about that? I mean, he's got a defender within inches of him. He makes the catch, avoids the tackle, and then picks up some nice yards. He's the exact guy you want returning punts.
So after the second punt of the day for Marion local, we'll see Kirtland with the lead have it 1st down and 10. You see Joey Torok there with the rushing totals. He needs 48 more yards to become the school's all-time leading rusher. And this time it'll be Powers on the pitch, and Torok's got it, and he's got the corner, turns it up at the 25, stays in bounds, he cuts back, inside the nope, they'll say he stepped out of bounds, back at the 20-yard line. It'll be a 25-yard run for Joey Torok. I think he scores on that play if they don't rule him out of bounds.
Yeah, absolutely, and Torok was one guy that needed the halftime to get his wind back and kind of refresh a little bit. You see his speed. I wonder if he steps out right there. Oh, man, that was close. But either way, that's a great job by Powers getting to the 3rd phase, getting to the pitch, bringing defenders in, sucks them in just a little bit, just enough so Torok can accelerate around the outside, and he's creeping up on that school record.
First down from the 20-yard line, and they'll hand it off to Gardner, and he takes quite a shot at the 18-yard line. They never brought him down, but Tanner Ungren hit him first, and forward progress was stopped after a gain of 2.
Yeah, and Torok once again comes out of the football game. Keep an eye on that because, as we know, he's a huge part of their offense, especially as they get in here to the red zone.
From the 18-yard line, it'll be 2nd down. They'll send James Torok wide to the left. And it's the quarterback, Powers, and he tripped at the 15, and he slams his hand into the carpet as the knee is down at the 13-yard line. Gain of 4, 3rd down coming up.
And he does a great job riding it right there, pulls it out the last second, gets all the defenders to bite, and trips at the very end of that run right there over Bailey. Otherwise, he might score. But I'll tell you what, quietly, Powers has played a great football game. He's done he's managed the football game. He's done what he's been asked to do. No mistakes, leading his team, right now at this point and just executing.
Big 3rd down, toss sweep, Torok tripped up behind the line of scrimmage by Brandon Fleck. Great defensive play by the middle linebacker to come shooting through. Special mention All-Ohio. It'll be a loss of 2. It'll be 4th and 5.
And this is a great open field tackle by Fleck and something the Flyers needed. They really need something to get some kind of momentum and just try to stop this drive. But, looks like the Hornets are going to kick a field goal here. Didn't know if they were going to go for it. Who knows with these two teams, they could roll the dice at any moment. They're going to try to get 3 points out of it.
So Roden from 32 yards. Good snap and hold. Kick is on the way, and it is good. 32-yard field goal, Mario Roden. And it's a 16-7 lead.
Todd, I was concerned about the snap, honestly. I'm sure Coach Laverde was as well because of the extra point that we saw in the first half right there. Perfect execution, good snap, good hold, kicks up, 3 points. And that's the way, if you're the Hornets fan, you want your team to come out and start.
So you get a stop, a 3 and outs, and then you put points on the board. And now it becomes a 2-score game with a 9-point advantage here at 16-7 with still a bunch of third quarter clock to go.
And the combination of having a good defense and an offense that can control the football, although against Marion Local you never feel comfortable, but right now you got to feel good about the way things are going.
So a advantage of 16-7. They lost in this game a year ago, 34-11. Kirtland playing in its 7th Division VI state championship game in the last 8 years. They've faced Marion Local 5 times. They beat Wayne Trace, and they lost to Minster in those appearances. And the kickoff is away, and it will bounce to Rethman, who kind of corrals it, and he's got room, and he's out to around the 33-yard line, and that's where Marion Local will take over. Short scoring drive here for the Hornets. They started at the 45-yard line. This is a big play here. Torak ruled him out of bounds here at the 20-yard line.
When Torak gets the yards, the Powers makes the good decision. Then he follows it up here with another good decision. Nice little bit of yards. And then the 3 points and perfect execution on the field goal. And that was something the Hornets needed to get some points out of that after the stop you mentioned, Todd, in the short field.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 for Marion Local. They'll run Bruins in under center, and they'll toss sweep it to Rethman. And he'll be hit behind the line of scrimmage. He'll make his way back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down is 10 as we check in with Ashley.
All right, thanks, guys. Coach Goodwin had said the challenging league play they faced had tested them for this situation. It's been so competitive for them, really put them through a tough grind. So from that, if Kirtland would jump out to a lead like they are right now, it wouldn't be a huge shock for this team. They'd be able to respond and able to handle it. He says the kids have the ability to go through the negativity, but the confidence to make those adjustments.
2nd down and 10 now for this offensive Marion Local. Just the 1 touchdown so far today. Bruins on a fake pump. Deep one downfield for Tangeman. Another jump ball, and it's knocked out of the hands of Tangeman on a great play by Connor Braun, who's had a great game here today. He's had a tall task, tall being the operative word there with the 6'4" Tangeman. Makes a tremendous play here.
Yeah, does a great job timing up his jump. Not only his jump, but also he punches his right arm through to get the ball out, and that's key. Didn't have contact with the receiver, which is the goal, so you don't get the flag. And you time it up well enough that you knock the ball loose, and it's just a long incompletion.
Braun had the interception at the end of the first half. Now it's 3rd down and long again for Marion Local as they're trying to get this offense jump-started here today. They set up a screen this time. Habadaz with blockers out in front. He's got the 1st down as he's to the 45-yard line. Capretta makes the tackle. Great play call on 3rd down and 10.
It really is, and Todd, you had pointed out that the Hornets are dropping back, only rushing 3. That time they rushed 4, but still everyone's kind of dropping back, giving a little ground. And this allows the offensive lineman to get out, get in front of the defender, and let the ball carrier get some yards, and that's a big conversion right there. 3rd and 10, things aren't going your way. You got to find a way to keep the drive alive, and they do it on the screenplay.
So a big conversion on 3rd down. Now they'll hand it off to Brandon Fleck, and he'll muscle his way over midfield. Capretta again is on the top of the pile there for Kirtland, and it'll be 2nd down and about 5 yards to go.
And Todd, it's amazing for Bruins. He's even as a quarterback, the screen pass before, you got a completion. He's had quite a few incompletions mixed in with an interception. Your psyche starts to get a little bit tested at some point, but you get a completion, you get a 1st down, and all of a sudden you kind of get it back on track.
2nd down and 5. Again in under center. Again they'll stay on the ground, and Habadaz is met right in the hole. Louis Loncar in there to make the stop. Gain of 2, 3rd down and short. To your point, partner, he started 5 of 8. Since then, 5 of 18.
Yeah.
Or I beg your pardon, 5 of 15.
Yeah, and that's tough. And not all him. You know, it's like we mentioned before, it's a team effort. Some good throws, some drops, some bad throws. But either way, you know, they're incompletions and they're not successful pass plays, and so as a quarterback, you're like, man, I just need one to get back on track. That's always a good play call for a coordinator or a head coach to say, hey, screen pass, get the completion, get things going, get back on track.
Third down. Toss sweep. Have it as to the corner. In fact, make it Rethman this time, and he is buried at the line of scrimmage. Capretta and Torok were there. Also in there on the stop, you see Gran. No gain. In fact, they'll lose a couple of yards. Fourth down, punting unit coming out of the field.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not going for it. You know, it's funny that early on in the game, both teams were super aggressive, never thought twice about it. Now you're at midfield, you got 4th and 5. They're gonna punt the ball away here and test their defense and challenge them and see if they can stop this offense of the Hornets.
Fleck has averaged 32 on his 2 kicks. That's a beauty there. Hangs it into the air. Sullivan has to stay away from it. And this one will trickle out of bounds just inside the 16-yard line. So after great starting field position on their first possession of the second half, pinned in their own territory. But it is Kirtland with a 16-7 lead here in the third. Middle of our third quarter, and Kirtland, the #1 team unbeaten, has a 16-7 lead over Marion Local. A familiar couple of times. These are the same 2 teams that met in this game last year, and it was Marion Local, after trailing early, they were able to get control of this game. Bruins had a big one. Tangeman had a big game, 120 yards and a couple of scores. And they ended up going away 34-11 in last year's state championship game, partner. This year they find themselves on the short end of a 16-7 score. And you see some of those numbers from last year's game. Offensively, they're struggling right now because this Kirtland defense that all year long has allowed just 145 yards a game and 4.5 points throughout 14 games this season. They have come in here and done the job against this Marion Local offense thus far.
They really have, but you got to go back to what Ashley mentioned about the conference and what Coach Goodwin said. They've been tested all year. They're used to this for years and years and years because of that MAC conference being one of the toughest in the state.
First down and 10 from the 16-yard line, a little counter, and this is Nybecker, and he's tripped up out to the 21-yard line. So Jake Nybecker on the carry, a senior, one of 2 main guys, Torok and Nybecker, and then you throw Powers, the quarterback, in there, and then they sprinkle in a little Luke Gardner here and there. And it's a pretty formidable offense. They'll pick up 4 yards on the first down play. It's also interesting, you know, they were so high tempo on that opening drive of the game, and they've kind of settled back into huddling, quarterback coming over to get the play call. Second down and 6 out of this stack guy. Look at those line splits this time as a huge hole opens up. Nybecker, he's into the second level. Along the sideline he goes. Will cut back at the 40, spun down finally by Meyer at the 33-yard line. That'll be a 47-yard run for Nybecker.
And that's one of those plays where you wait for the right time to call it and you hope it gets executed the right way. Fake toss, opens wide open right there, and then it's just a big gainer. And you think about, you went back to, okay, why are they not up tempo? They don't need to be. Right now they can drain the clock. In fact, they could almost look up there and snap it at 5 seconds every single time at this point. You don't want to necessarily get too conservative, but there's also no reason to rush around. You're controlling the football game, and it's being controlled at the line of scrimmage here on offense.
So a big chunk of yards all the way down to the 32-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10. Quarterback Powers with room off to the left, over the 25, inside the 20, as he barrels his way for a pickup of 14 yards and another first down run for this very confident Kirtland offense right now.
And Powers, another great decision right there at the mesh point. You'll see, ball goes in, comes out, then he's got another big gainer, and he's just, you're right, confident, very confident in his decisions, making them quickly, and then when he does, you know, he's bursting in whatever direction he needs to go in.
So first down and 10, they spot the football just inside the 20-yard line. And it is Nybecker, and he gets into that Buffalo zone, and he'll pick up a couple on the play. A short run that time, slowed down on that defense by Derek Wilker up front.
See the play before there, they try to go back to it again, the fake toss. Last time, obviously, a bigger play. This time, Marion Local was ready for it. but it's worth taking a shot at it again, especially when you have a big one. Sometimes coaches have that big play and they tuck it away for later. There's no later now. This is the last game of the year, and you want to make it count.
Game number 15 for these teams as we get a whistle. And we're going to have a false start here against Marion.
Dead ball.
False
start.
Kirtland.
Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Well, we have not had many penalties in this game here today. You would expect a low number. That is just the 5th accepted penalty in the game today. But it will back them up, and a chance now for Marion local as they've got it second down and 13. They'll have Bonish and Gardner splitting to the top of the screen. Empty backfield here for Powers. He will look to throw over here for Torak, and he's got it. And short of the 14-yard line is where they're going to mark the football. So that'll be a gain of 8 and a nice little safe play. I mean, coming in 14 weeks, 77 passes for Powers. But when they need him to throw, he makes a very strong, accurate throw.
Yeah, and it's a great play call. It's a nice little mix-up right there. Empty backfield. You got 2 out routes on 2 levels. You got your best player on offense and Torak running that quick out and a nice pitch and catch. And it's just a little wrinkle that loosens up the defense, and it's nice to have in your back pocket.
Now 3rd down and 5. And Nybecker was hit right at the line of scrimmage, fell forward. See, official ball popped out and signaling that he was already down. Darren Hayes, the nose guard, boy, he hit Nybecker right away here, but he was able to fight off of it and pick up a couple of yards, and it'll be 4th down. He was already down as the ball was coming out.
How about this 4th down going for it?
Yep, after just kicking a field goal.
In the same spot almost.
Yep. They will line up to go for it here. Play clock is already at 10, and they're never going to get this play snapped. Coach Laverde is already looking at the play clock. He's walked onto the field. He'll call a timeout here. So we'll give him more time to think about it, as it'll be 4th down and about 3 yards to go. A field goal would make it 19-7. But looks like they're going to forego that here. And I think the way their defense is playing might play into this decision.
Yeah, absolutely. And the confidence level, and we saw in the opening drive, I mean, in their own territory, backed up, 4th and short, Coach Laverde didn't even hesitate. Everybody ran back right up to the line of scrimmage, and they went for it. He's kept that mentality this entire football game. He's thinking right now, if we can get this 1st down, maybe drain some more clock, get a touchdown. You know, you never say put it away, but man, you feel like you're in super control of the game and one step closer to your 4th state championship.
Spectrum News 1 is a new kind of news channel dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across Ohio. Spectrum News 1, always Ohio, always refreshing, always on, exclusively on Spectrum. Overcast gray day here in Stark County. Division 6 state championship game, 4th down play. It's Joey Torak. He's met at the 10, and he is going to be stopped short. What a collision at the 10-yard line. Torak still slow in getting up. It was Ungren who was in there on the stop, and the running back Torak is still down on the field. Tangeman was another one in there on that hit, and that was just 2 forces colliding, and Marion local is going to take over at the 10-yard line. Oh my goodness, Tangeman was the one who applied that hit.
Yeah, they did. That was defense trying to make a statement right there. They knew they could not give up a 1st down, and that's exactly what the defense did. They came up, played perfect team defense, tackled exactly how they should, brought their legs with the tackle, and drove the ball carrier back. And you see Torak on the turf there, but definitely a little bit short, and now it's little things like that may spark the offense. At least you're hoping for that if you're a Flyer fan, that hey, defense makes the stop, they get the football back for you, and now it's your turn to march down the football field with confidence. They've seemed unsure of themselves offensively these last few possessions.
All right, so still a timeout on the field here with our injured player. The Division II state championship game last night looked like Hoban was going to run away with that. They led 35-7 at half. Massillon cut it back to a 6-point game, but it ends up 42-28, 4th straight title for Archbishop Hoban.
It's pretty good. I mean, 4 in a row. That means those freshmen really Had a nice high school career with 4 rings.
And you see the rundown of games later today. Division 3 at 3 o'clock is Kenston and Alder. Big one tonight, St. Ed's and Colerain. You told me Colerain this might be the best team they've ever had.
Yeah, they're good. They really do a lot of things well. They can throw the football, play great defense, run it as well as anybody.
See the games now on Championship Saturday. Division 7 will kick it off, Trimble and Macomb. Johnstown and Orville, the D5 state title game. And then Girard and Wyoming, 2 great quarterbacks in that one tomorrow night in the Division 4 state championship game at 8 o'clock. We'll have them all for you here on Spectrum News 1, lining up to be another great weekend of football. We had a great one last night. This one is a 9-point game here in the third quarter. Maybe not high scoring, but we're just talking about a couple possessions separating these two teams.
Well, we talked about, let's go back to the keys of the game for a second right now, and it's Kirtland kind of doing exactly what, if they could execute the keys, they'd be up, and that's what they're doing. They're staying ahead. The problem is you look in your rearview mirror a little bit, and you see Marion Local and all the offense that they have, and at any moment, if they get hot or things start to click a little bit, then they're right back in this football game. I mean, that's the key. So you're never really safe when you're playing Marion Local because of offensively that they can go. But Kirtland, they got out early and they're still ahead, and their defense is playing lights out. I mean, that's exactly what's going on right now. And then on the other side of it, the Flyers are having trouble stopping that run, although they did right there and they got the football back.
And they'll have it first down and 10 from their own 10-yard line. And we see Bruns on the sprint, and he's going to hit Tangeman. And that's a nice little pickup, 7 or 8 yards. You and I were talking during our last time out that we had about it seems like everything that they're relying on is just going deep downfield, when this is what they were doing in the early going when he was 5 of 8 to start the game.
Yeah, quick reads, quick throws, quick decisions, all that stuff can help build your confidence back up as a quarterback and get the ball moving, not worrying about everything down the football field, but maybe going back to your quick game or something short where you can start to get some completions and get some momentum.
After a gain of 8, second down, and Habadaz, and he'll have the first down. He only had to get across the 20, and he does. They've had a tough time today getting Habadaz any kind of rhythm on the ground. He came in with over 1,200 yards, and that was only his 4th carry of the day. So able to pick up the necessary yardage to move the chains on the first down here for Habadaz. Had 21 touchdowns coming in. He had a score in this game a year ago. We saw it in that highlight package a little earlier. From the 21-yard line, first down and 10 here for the Marion Local Flyers. And again, Bruns over the middle. That's going to be caught. And out over the 25 to around the 26 is Peyton Oddie. Flag was thrown by the umpire in the middle of the field towards the line. And it looks like this is actually going to go against Kirtland.
Holding. Defense, number 2. 10-yard penalty. First down.
And before our next play, let's send it down to Ashley Collins.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Of course, we saw the injury to Joey Torok just a little bit ago. He came off the sidelines with help, was walked over to the bench just a little bit ago. They had the trainers walk him back into the locker room.
Thank you, Ashley. That would be a tough loss for the rest of this game if Torok is not able to return. From the 31-yard line, first down and 10. Flyers trailing here 16-7. Play action on the pitch. Deep one downfield. Again trying to hit Audie, and it's knocked away by Capretta at the last second. If he does not get his hand on that, that is probably going to be 6 points.
Taking their shots downfield, play action. That post right down the middle and almost throws it into traffic, but almost outthrows the coverage. But as you mentioned, at the last second, hand on the football, breaks it up, but they're taking their shots. There's no doubt about it. We mentioned maybe going underneath a little bit, going short. Right now, Coach Goodwin's still taking those shots down the football field. And right there, I mean, you're inches away from a big play and an instant score.
This secondary has been outstanding today. Second down and 10. This time a little bit of pressure. He lobs one out for Habadaz. Takes a shot from Sullivan. Knocked down at the 40-yard line. That's a nice little gainer and a nice little touch pass that time. Dawson Cosgrove will end up making the tackle. This is a throw we haven't seen him make today.
No, and he wants to go deep again, and then he kind of pulls off and feathers one in there, exactly what he needs to do, and it's just more of that. Get the football out of your hands and let it go. Trust your eyes and make it happen.
Habadaz joins the huddle late. On third down and short, it is Habadaz, and he ran right into the arms of Jack Bailey, who slammed him to the turf. No gain, 4th down and 2.
I'll tell you what, when the ball carrier comes in after the huddle breaks and then he ends up getting the football, for some reason, all the odds are that it never's going to work. Just not exactly sure. Was I supposed to get it? Or why I wasn't, mentally you checked out because you're on the sideline. All of a sudden now you're the main cog in the wheel, and all of a sudden it just doesn't work.
And in the last minute of the third quarter, a huge 4th down play in their own territory. Bruins, after a hard count, hands it off to Fleck, and he fights forward, and the Marion local stands rise to their feet in unison. 1st down and 10 for the Flyers.
And there's the no hesitation. Go for it on 4th down, run it right at them, and getting the 1st down. That's what state championships are done, and that's how they're won right there, because you don't hesitate and you just go with it, and that's a huge 1st down, huge conversion.
Interesting, he went with the hard count and then did snap the ball. And almost as a defensive line, you're thinking, well, he went with the hard count, we didn't jump, that's what they were trying to do. And then all of a sudden they're on their heels.
And if that's the case, that's great game planning, great execution.
1st down from the 42-yard line now. They'll go back to the air with Bruins. Again, a fake pump. Tries for Tangeman again, and this time the big fella will haul it in at the 32-yard line. He was sandwiched by Sullivan and Capretta, but Tangeman hauls it in for a big gain.
They finally got one. They're in traffic once again. Tangeman does a good job focusing on the football. He knows there's going to be contact at the end of this throw. Over a defender and the hit, but he uses his body to secure the football, and that's one of the first one really in traffic that we've seen today.
Habadaz trying to get to the corner, but Bailey has got a hold of him, and here come the rest of the troops. That'll be a loss back to the 38-yard line, a loss of 7 yards on the final play of the third quarter. Jack Bailey is turning up the heat here on defense. One more quarter to go in our Division 6 state championship game. The Flyers have won the last 2 titles. Kirtland's trying to take it away from them and win their 4th overall. They lead 16-7 after 3. Kirtland on top here, 16-7. Some of the big plays from today's Division 6 state championship game. Joey Torok trying to become the all-time leading rusher in Kirtland history. Jake Nybecker with a big play today for the Hornets. And they've got a 16-7 lead here as we head to the start of the 4th quarter. Todd Bell, Matt DeRazio, Ashley Collins with you. But partner, it's the Marion local Flyers who are on the move here. They've got the ball inside Kirtland territory. They're going to have 2nd down and long coming up. But this is almost a must-score drive for them.
It really is. They need some kind of confidence. Obviously, they need points, and they need quite a few here to take the lead and try to win the football game. But they haven't scored in a while, and right now is a time to take advantage of it with the field position. And it's crazy. Both teams have gone through a lot of adversity at this point. I mean, losing some stars, coming back, not sure what's going on. And battling all along the way, and we're still got a tight ball game here.
Through 3 quarters now, the plays, Matt, have almost evened out. They're only separated by 5, but a 100-yard difference in total offense in favor of Kirtland. After that tackle for loss on 1st down by Bailey, who's made a couple of big plays here to start in this 3rd, now 4th quarter. It'll be 2nd down and long for the Flyers. Bruins to the air, throws off to the left. That'll be caught by Albers. He's trying to break a tackle. Capretta hangs on, out of bounds, inside the 20-yard line. 20-yard throw to Albers.
This is a nice play here, coming off a little bit of time to set up as you change ends of the field. Albers goes from the tight end position, drags across the football field. No one on the Hornets sees him, and Bruins sees him wide open, delivers a nice pass. Doesn't have to move around. I feel like that's the other thing too. Just stay still, sit in that pocket and deliver it. I think he's on a few of those drives, he feels like he's getting a little antsy and moving around. Trust your offensive line and deliver the football.
If you weren't with us at the 1st quarter, opening series for Marion local, Bruins was injured, had to be helped off the field. He missed the next set of downs, but has come back and played since. Now to the air, toward the end zone, Tangeman, and it's off his hands. And behind the play, Bruins immediately slams his hands on the carpet. He knew he threw a bad ball there. He had a wide open player.
Yeah, another good design as 2 receivers run vertical. One wide open on the edge, just misses him. And that's a tough one. Tangeman, he's a big guy, big receiver, huge catch radius right there, just not within his reach to pull it off. And that as a quarterback, that can upset you because you don't get a lot of chances with a wide open receiver, and Bruins missed that one.
Second down. Trailing by 9. Bruins takes the snap. They come after him. They set up a screen. It is caught by Peyton Oddie. Hit at the 15 and driven out of bounds there by Nybecker. And as they get Peyton Oddie involved in the offense, he's made a couple of plays today, and it'll be third down and about 4 as we'll take a look at Marion local and their 21 playoff appearances. Nobody has won more games than them, 76 in the history of the OHSAA playoffs.
It's incredible. It doesn't even make sense. It really doesn't, but I'll tell you what, great community, great school, and man, they are on fire right now.
Third down play. Is it 4-down territory for the Flyers? They'll move Bruins around, throws it over here through the hands of Tangeman, incomplete. Would have been right at the first down marker. Connor Braun again was in there on the coverage. Matt, in the first half of the game, we were seeing these receivers make these catches. That one slips through the hands of Tangeman.
Man, it's been a combination of things. Bruins a little bit off at times. You know, right there he's on, drops, and you've got to get everybody hitting on all cylinders. As you mentioned, the first half looked good. This is a good throw. Probably was right at the first down marker. Probably may have gotten it. Just could not complete the pass.
And it appears they will forego a 29-yard field goal try. 10 seconds on the play clock, so they're going to have to scramble to get this one off. And they're not lined up properly, and they'll have to burn a timeout. So it'll be fourth down and about 4 yards to go as Marion local will use a timeout as we check in with Ashley Collins. We'll try and check back in with Ashley here in a moment. Fourth down play coming up, partner. The thought, you don't know about the place kicking game for Klosterman, 3 out of 5 on the year. Foregoing a 29-yard try here that would make it a 6-point game. They're going to try and get the first down here and keep the possession alive.
In a perfect world, you wouldn't, you'd like to save that timeout, especially where you are coming from behind. But at the same time, I mean, you want to use timeouts when you make them valuable. This is the time. You call a timeout, get everybody on the same page, because Todd, you and I both know right here, they don't get a first down right here. They don't get points on this drive. It continues to be an uphill battle for them, so they want to make sure they got their best play called, answer any questions if kids have them. Where do I line up? Where do I go? Who am I blocking? Those types of things, so that when Bruins calls for the snap, everybody's on the same page and they can find a way to get these yards for the first down.
Look for a Matt Rethman, number 10. He's the guy in the slot up on the top, coming in motion. Maybe be a big play guy here on fourth down. Bruins scrambling around a little bit. Pressured here as he gets a good block. Now throws late for Rethman. Through his hands, incomplete at the 5-yard line. Marion local will turn it over on downs. And that time they came with a little pressure to get to Bruins.
They did, and confused him just a little bit. You could tell Bruins that when he got the snap, initially wasn't exactly sure what to do right here. Could make a decision. And once again, he's challenged a little bit because he can't move as well as he normally does. Tries to throw it up here and just cannot make a play. And so Laverde dials up a little defense, which, Todd, we haven't seen that at all, really.
Yeah.
But he knows how important this game is and how important that play was. Puts pressure on Bruins, and it pays off.
So the offense of Kirtland back out onto the field. Joey Torok, who Ashley had reported earlier had gone back to the locker room, is back on the sideline, but does not have his helmet. First down from the 12. Powers runs right into a brick wall of Flyers defenders. Maybe a smidge of a gain. Second down and 10. So now what does that do for this offense? You don't have your 4,000 plus yard rusher to go to here when the game is on the line, leading here 16-7.
Certainly you'd love to have him, but there's other guys who have been filling in, really. And honestly, Powers has been the guy. He's making good decisions. He needs to remind himself and everybody else to hold on to that football.
From the 12, second down, and it's Sullivan. He's going to fill in. He's going to work his way out to the 20-yard line. Hit there by Rethman. 3rd and 2 coming up. Let's check in again with Ashley.
Thanks, guys. As you mentioned, Joey Torak back out here, but without his helmet. And when he walked out, of course, visibly upset, had tears in his eyes. All of his teammates consoling him. Just a little bit ago, he was standing right behind Tiger Laverde. He was out there, as you saw in the field, in the huddle with the guys, cheering on his teammates, but obviously very upset not being able to go back in.
3rd down and 2 coming up. He needed 96 yards to become the school's all-time leading rusher. He needs 6. He's 6 short. They go to Gardner on the option. He's got the corner and a 1st down, but a penalty marker comes out at the point of attack, and this looks as though it may come back. We saw Gardner get the touchdown earlier.
Holding. Offense, number 2. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Gardner able to use his speed on that 7-yard run earlier. He had the corner here, but they say that the hold on Nybecker was part of the reason why.
Yeah, Nybecker on the perimeter blocking, as a receiver, it's so important. You got to do it the right way, but once again, until you're out in space, so you see a jersey a little bit right there, and it's an easy call for the official, so you got to do things the right way just because you're so visible. And that's a big play for the Flyers right there, because that was a 1st down, that was a big chunk of yards, and now it's a 3rd and 10 situation.
They'll go to 5 wide receivers here on 3rd down and 10. Powers will keep it, and he'll be hit and dropped right at the 16-yard line by Brandon Fleck. So a short gain, and it'll be 4th down and long. And boy, that is a huge play in this game. They were going to eat up another chunk of time off the clock, but because of that penalty, they're going to have to give the football back, and Marion Local should have great field position here.
And Todd, you mentioned there hasn't been a lot of mistakes, honestly.
Yeah.
One turnover on the interception, but that's before the half, kind of a throw up there. But other than that, not many penalties, no fumbles. And quite honestly, that one hold right there is huge, because you're right. This is going to be fantastic field position for the Flyers.
Just one punt for Alfrey today, and this one's going to be blocked. It will bounce at the 20 and be down right there. How about that? They got pressure through the middle and blocked the punt.
Special teams. That was it right there. You consider that a turnover, no doubt about it. Special teams comes in and makes the play. Where quite honestly, the offense.
So this block punt will set up Marion Local in great field position. When we come back, they trail 16-7. Well, you see our game summary to this point. Complete dominance in the rushing game by Kirtland and time of possession. But a block punt by Dylan Heitkamp for Marion Local has given the Flyers the football at the 20-yard line. 1st down and 10 with still over 9 minutes to play. Bruns looking for Ungren, and he throws behind him back at the 5-yard line. Boy, he had him early and waited a little bit longer, then had to throw it behind him a little bit.
Yeah, long developing play. Once again, they try to go the drag, which they did before earlier. That was successful. Now they're trying to drag and wheel. That allows the defense to get over there, so you almost have to throw behind, because if you throw out in front, the defender's there. And once again, just slightly off the mark, whether it be Bruns who's off the mark or if the receiver drops it.
So 2nd down and 10 now for this Marion Local offense. They go eye in the backfield. Bruns in under center. Quick drop this time. Throw to the outside. Rethman the catch. Tackled at the 12 by Sullivan. So that'll be a gain of 8, almost 9 on the play. And now it'll bring up a 3rd down and short.
And Bruns does a lot better when it's just a quick decision, quick throw. That quick game is his thing. I mean, you want to stick to it, get the football out of his hands. He doesn't have to run around, doesn't have to make any plays with his feet. It's one of those deals where you see it, you throw it, and get it out.
They go to a big package here. Kirtland scrambling to get set on defense. Brandon Fleck's got the carry and a 1st down to the 6-yard line. And then late, a flag will come in. That's going to be a face mask against Kirtland. That'll move it inside the 5, where it'll be 1st and goal.
Face mask. Defense number 5. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
And for the first time in a long time, a huge ovation from that Marion Local fan base on the far side of the field.
Well, they're fighting, there's no doubt about it, and that block punt is the key. It's a great equalizer on all the stats of time in possession and yards and all that sort of thing. because all of a sudden you've got the football in scoring position.
First down, they stay with Fleck, tries to cut back, drives the legs forward, and he'll pick up a yard or so on the first down of carry. Boy, Jack Bailey, 74 in blue. He just continues to play well up front there for Kirtland on defense. Also, Mike Alfrey is up there on that defensive line.
And Bailey's athletic, almost 300 pounds. He's running down halfbacks and showing his speed.
Second down and goal to go from the 2-yard line. Play action this time. Quick one over here. It's tipped into the air, and it's going to be incomplete as Gardner this time got his hands on the football. And it'll be third down and goal as they were trying to hit Hillsman over here in the flat.
Todd, I thought that was a slam dunk. The little play action looked like he was wide open. In fact, even when he threw it, but Gardner does not give up on it. Thrown behind just a touch. You got a big body right there. Throw it out in front and high so we can go get it. But how about Gardner? No give up. Last second gets that left hand on the football.
From the 2, third down. It's Fleck. And he got hit by Cron, and he's down at the 1. And as we approach 7 minutes to go, this would be an extra point here if you kick the field goal to make it a 1-score game. And it looks as though they're going to bring the field goal unit out onto the surface here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Boy, what a tough decision this is, but you got to have points.
You have to have points, Todd. I'm with you on that. It is a tough decision, but this puts it within a score and a chance for you to still stay in that football game. If you get stopped here once again and come away with nothing, it's tough.
Basically an extra point. Good snap and hold. Kick is blocked at the line of scrimmage. Now it's picked up. Play continues on. Capretta finally picked it up, sheds a man there, and will be tackled out near the 40-yard line. Everybody stopped on the play. Capretta picked it up, and after having their own punt blocked, they're going to block a field goal here with 6:41 to play in the game.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 5. 15-yard penalty. First down.
That's the least of concerns right now if you are Kirtland, because you now have the football and still a 2-score lead. Oh my, Jack Bailey, who has just had a tremendous game offensively and defensively today, blocks the field goal.
Yeah, they got their punt block. They answer with a block of their own. And Todd, I was surprised that no one reacted. It was almost like everyone thought it was a dead ball, and that was it. Where quite honestly, it could have been a scoop and score all the way down. Finally, the Hornets realize that it's a live football, and they pick it up.
On first down, Nybecker, and a short run here. And that has taken all of the wind out of the sails of Marion Local, who were trying to make it a 1-score game. And the defense of Kirtland held him out of the end zone. They had 3 tries from inside the 5, couldn't get it in the end zone. They opted for the field goal and come up with 0 points.
Yeah, this has been a total team effort from the Hornets, and right now, I keep saying it, but Tommy Powers has got to remind everybody, one, you've got to take care of the football. That's the key. Don't fight for extra yards. Get down and hold on to the ball.
This is Mason Sullivan. And he works his way out near the 34, and before this third down play, we'll check in again with Ashley Collins.
Thanks, guys. I asked Coach Laverde how they continue to have success. He says they make it a huge emphasis to play the freshman, JV, varsity schedules. They see a lot of schools that can't put together a JV team, so they schedule 2 games on the weekends in case one of them gets canceled. They contact teams like Eds, Ignatius, Menor, Avon, and it's fantastic competition for them, and ultimately just keeps the cycle going and seems to be working for them.
And it comes down to moments like this, a third down and 1. Joey Torok on the sideline. Quarterback Powers tries to keep Matt. I don't think he got it.
Depends on who gives him the spot here. It is close.
Official on the far side of the field comes in, puts his foot down shy of the 35-yard line. All right, now Tiger Laverde leading 16-7. Do you go for it on fourth down and less than a yard in your own territory?
Didn't even hesitate. And quite honestly, I think I'm with him. Control the football game. You get a first down here. You're in control.
Yep.
Clock ticks away, and you've played an unbelievable football game. And they just got a punt block, by the way. So that's certainly creeping in his head as well.
For Marion local to have any chance, they've got to have a stop here. They'll need to get to that 35-yard line. Timeout, Kirtland before the snap.
The first flinch for Coach Laverde all day. Thought, you know what, maybe we need to think about this just one extra second. It's kind of an important game.
They let the play clock wind all the way down. State champions in 11, 13, and 15. Lost to Marion local last year in the state championship game, playing in their 7th title game in the last 8 years. And trying to win their 4th here today. And you were dead on. It has been a total team effort. Offensive line has played tremendous. All of their running backs have been involved defensively. You can't say enough about how well they have defended the deep ball downfield, which is one of the big plays that Marion local has. See the scoring by quarter there. They gave up that touchdown. So Marion local had tied the game at 9:15 to go in the second quarter, and they haven't allowed anything since. A defense that came in allowing 4.5 points a game. And they have been for real here today. They'll stay with it here on 4th down. They'll hand it off. First down. Nybecker just ran right in behind Bailey in the left side of that line. First down and 10, and now Marion local, or I beg your pardon, Kirtland with 4.5 minutes to go. One more first down, they can run this baby out.
Yeah, and it's a strong call. Those are state championship calls right there. That's confidence in your team and going for it right there. They could play conservative, they could get a punt off, they could go back on defense. But once again, if they can get a first down like they just did and control the football, they control the game.
That Bailey's a road grader out there.
Oh
isn't
yeah,
he?
he's a difference maker, no doubt.
Him and Alfrey there on the left side of the line. That's where they went. First down, they do it again. It's Sullivan, and he'll just keep going. Look at that pile surge forward over the 45-yard line. They have worn down this defense of Marion local today up front.
I love to see Sullivan, just a sophomore, filling in for Torok. And how about that? Everything I need to know about Sullivan is that he's the punt returner, and we've already seen him be pretty gutsy on a couple of them with success. So you put him in a situation like this, and you know you can count on him. And that's key. I mean, you got to have a little bit of depth. And you know Torok's kind of bummed that he is not in the football game, but, man, you've got to be happy. That's why football is so unique. It is the total team that you need to get through this thing. And now he's over there, you can tell, leading the cheers, trying to find a way to get this victory from the sideline.
On second down, Nybecker again off to the right, first down, and was tripped up at the 43-yard line by Brandon Fleck. I mean, it's almost obvious if you just watch 72 and 74 on which side of the line they line up, that's where the ball is going to go.
Yeah, it's one of those things where here's where we're going. Can you stop it? You know, and that's the thing. No one has been able to. We're talking about 3 minutes and 12 seconds away from a perfect season, and a lot of it has to do with those guys up front that you just described.
Now down to 3 minutes to go for the Hornets of Kirtland. And it is Nybecker again. And Marion local will burn one of its 2 remaining timeouts.
Once again, nothing changed, nothing fancy. Maybe a play here or there that we saw with a quick screen to Torok, a couple counters here and there, you know, a draw, quarterback draw, but really, you know, Zach, hey, you even know what we're going to do. Can you stop it? And today it's been all Hornets all morning long.
Well, including today, of the last 8 titles in Division 6, 7 will have been won by Marion local and Kirtland. 3 for the Flyers, or beg your pardon, 4 for the Flyers, 3 for the Hornets of Kirtland.
It's just a great rivalry,
yes.
Really. It really is. And quite honestly, it's setting the tone for the rest of the state and saying, hey, if you want to play at this level in this division, you got to get to where we're at. Otherwise, we're just going to keep doing this every year. You're not going to get any complaints from them, I'm sure.
Yep. Been a clean game today. Lots of respect on the field for both the sides. A gutsy performance from Nathan Bruns, who came back after a leg injury on their opening series. Joey Torok, who will finish 6 yards short of being the all-time leading rusher at Kirtland, had to leave here in this fourth quarter. They run a dangerous option here, and Sullivan will take the pitch and stay in bounds. The last thing you want to do here is turn the ball over, right?
I mean, you wonder, okay, we don't do what we don't need to do, but then again, if you're just executing and taking what the defense gives you, and that's what you practice, and you can make it work, you got to go with it. But I'm with you. Kind of limit the chances of disaster.
Yeah, we didn't get around to talking about it. This Marion local team on a 14-game playoff win streak, so that will end here today. And they were trying to become the 5th school to win a basketball and football title in the same calendar year. This team won the basketball state championship last March, led by Nathan Bruns. St. Henry, St. Ignatius, St. Henry, St. Edward are the other 4 schools in their respective years to do it. It's Partington, and he walked in a year ago on the state championship game. And then watch this 3. Hand in the face, bang, 3 by Bruns in the corner. And they win the game over Cornerstone Christian in overtime. I was on the call of that game, and that pass happened right in front of me to the other side. I thought it was going 9 rows into the stands. Bruns hauls it in and then buried that 3. It was unbelievable. And it just goes back to that Midwest Athletic Conference. 38 football titles, that's all that they have.
It's a good conference. I mean, it's just loaded top to bottom. It gets you, it's kind of like Coach Goodwin says, it gets you prepared.
Yep.
I mean, if you can compete there and win titles there, you can compete around the state. And we see it every year this time where there's somebody from the MAC that's challenging for another state championship.
All right, last hope for Marion local here. 4th down and 4. And they jump offside. And that's going to do it.
Dead ball. Encroachment. Defense, number 44. 5-yard penalty. Results in a first down.
And a little celebration begins because now they can run out the clock. No more timeouts for Marion local. It'll be 1st down and 10 as you see the crowd coming down from Lake County supporting Kirtland football here today.
And then the little things are what make a difference right here. If the Powers going hard count and everybody holding their water, no one jumping, and they get the 5 yards, they get the first down, and it's all on the hard count.
And now they will line up in the victory formation as quarterback Tommy Powers will take the snap. And I think you alluded to it early. Powers, it's not flashy at quarterback, right? But he makes all the correct decisions. And he played a whale of a game at quarterback.
No doubt about it. And you think about too, if you had to pick a player of the game, you can't. You got to pick the whole team. This is truly where you could say everybody contributed and played their role, and that's exactly why they're going to hold that trophy at the end.
Gatorade baths have already begun. As you see Powers wait for that play clock to trickle down. And it looks like we've got Marion local lined up offside here.
Dead ball. Encroachment. Defense, number 44. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
There you. It's not a gear. That's a chocolate milk bath.
There you go.
Pure elation on the sideline for Kirtland as they'll have to snap it one more time as Powers waits for that play clock to trickle down. He'll move it under Austin Fulco for the last time for those 2 seniors. And the Kirtland Hornets will watch the clock tick down, and they are about to be crowned the Division VI state champions in 2018. Play clock. They don't have to snap it again. Kirtland now realizes it, and the celebration begins. A hard-fought, smash-mouth football game here today between 2 tremendous programs.
Yeah, and obviously winning the state championship, there's no better feeling. You add on the fact that you beat the team that beat you last year, maybe just a little bit better feeling if that's even possible.
So Tiger Laverde and the Kirtland Hornets are champions of Division VI 2018 as the handshakes take place at midfield. 2 of our 7 championship games for the weekend have concluded And boy, this is got to be just a great feeling for a team, Matt, that finishes 15-0. They were the AP poll champions, and now they could take home the gold trophy as well.
Absolutely. These seniors, you got to take your hat off to them just for the way that they've responded from last year's loss, and then they put together a season without a blemish. I mean, you think about that, and you work hard in the offseason, and man, you're getting closer in the preseason games. Man, I think we got a good team here. I think we can beat everybody. Well, they just did it.
So 16-7, Kirtland victorious here today. It was tied at 7 after each team had the ball twice. It was Kirtland scoring late in the second quarter to go up 13-7. We wondered if the missed extra point would play into it. It never did. They added a field goal in the second half and win it 16-7. And I got to keep going back to the defense of Kirtland, who a couple of times had Marion local here in the fourth quarter had it inside the 10-yard line on 2 possessions and came up with no points.
Yeah, strong. Great game plan and even better execution. Guys believed in what was going on, and you see the stat right there. Only gave it up 71 points. It just doesn't even make any sense at all. But I'll tell you what, that's how you can run the football. You play good defense. You get to do backflips right there at the end of the year for the trophy.
All right, let's send it down to the field, and Ashley Collins with a very happy head coach, Tiger Laverde.
Well, Coach, with his family right now, of course, everyone very, very happy. Coach, congrats. You said it wasn't a revenge game, but the kids used it as motivation all year long up until this point. What impressed you most?
Man, there was a great fight. Those kids, that's a great football team. They battled, our kids battled. We just made a couple more plays. I mean, they've won 10 state championships. They're the class of all the small schools in Ohio, and we're just happy to compete with them.
Joey Torak with the injury, but able to come back out. It couldn't be on the field, but he was that leader on the sidelines for you guys. What does it say about this team, and more specifically him, to be able to do that when he was visibly upset?
Yeah, he obviously wanted to play, but the medical personnel said, you're done, and fortunate for us, we were able to finish it off without him, and I can't be more proud of these kids. I mean, that was a great football game, a great run. I mean, we had great games with Mogador and Fort Fry. I mean, we just had it was a fun season, and I'm so proud they could finish it off. It's going to be a fun bus ride home.
Thanks so much, Coach. Congrats, guys.
All right, congratulations to Kirtland. Thank you very much, Ashley. Time for today's drive of the game. It is presented by Blaster. Blaster, work it like a pro. And this was the drive that eventually gave them the 13-7 lead. You're going to see a lot of Torak and Powers, and then at the end of it, we're going to see Gardner. This was the drive, remember, that Torak kept trying to take himself out. Coach wouldn't let him, and then Gardner finishes it off with the touchdown.
Yeah, he did just enough that the team needed him, and then you pass the baton there to the fresh guy, and Gardner gets in, and you're right, that was the one that took the lead for good.
Torak finished with 17 carries for 90 yards and 4,704 in his career. Down to the field for the Executive Director of the OHSAA and Jerry Snodgrass.
I know some of the challenges that you've been through this year, that the slogans on the helmet. I know you did so much for Coach Toby throughout the year. I know he would love to be here, and I know throughout the season you guys as seniors played for him as well as you played for everybody else. I'm very proud because I know your community well, and I know how much that community supports you day in, day out, year round. Always be proud of that, and I beg you to give back to that same thing for the years to come and those players standing over there, and I know you will. On behalf of every one of our member schools, our board of directors, it's an honor for me to have Mr. Bob Britton present you this runner-up trophy for 2018. Coach, Flyers, and the Flyer Nation, congratulations.
(13-2) this year for Marion local. They'll lose to Coldwater in the last game of the regular season in double overtime. They'll lose to the state champions in Kirtland. Coach Laverde mentioned 10 state championships. They were going for number 11. That would have tied them with St. Ignatius for the most ever in the state of Ohio. Boy, just a terrific career for the seniors over on that Marion local football team and what they've accomplished, coming away with a couple of state championships and a runner-up here today.
Yeah, tons to be proud of. Once again, great community, great group of kids. Obviously came up a little short today, but when they look back on it, great season and competed. And then here's the thing: you expect them to be here again next year, at least sniffing this game.
All right, let's head back down to the field here for the presentation of the trophy to a very happy Kirtland group.
Hornets, you too come from a proud community that supports you unbelievably. Just take a look. They've been behind you all the way, always are. Coach Laverde, everybody wants to get to week 15. Everybody gets on this field on week 15 and wants to win the championship. As great as anything was watching each one of your players walk through your elementary school and slap hands with every young player, some down here, many up there right now that want to be in your shoes. And guys, that is truly what high school athletics are about. You're going to remember the trophy, you're going to remember this, but you're also going to remember the experience and what you give back to the community in the years ahead. On behalf of our member schools, our board of directors, it's an honor that Jeff Casella from our board of directors can present you this championship trophy for 18.
Jack Bailey, 74, he put his big mitts on that trophy and he wasn't going to let it go, was he? He had a great game at offensive tackle, defensive tackle, and had a key block in the field goal today.
He's been dominating every phase. He might as well dominate on the trophy and say, dude, you guys, this is mine, baby. And you can see him right there. He just had a great season and a great game and the biggest win of them all.
I would trust that with him any day.
Look at it. That's fantastic.
Oh, congratulations, both clubs. Marion local, Kirtland, and able to celebrate with those students, their peers, who they walk the halls of the classrooms with every day.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. We talked about high school athletics and playing for somebody and just being excited about getting that championship.
The rights to this broadcast have been granted by the OHSAA. Any rebroadcast or republication of the program without the written consent of Spectrum News 1 of the OHSAA is strictly prohibited. Following our game, stay with Spectrum News 1 for an extended post-game with Mary Lee Melendez and Brett Hildebrand. They'll break down this game and get more reaction from the champions immediately following our coverage here, all on Spectrum News 1, your home for high school sports. For Ashley Collins and Matt DeRazio, this is Todd Bell. Congratulations, Kirtland Hornets.